What's going on, everybody?
Sup, bitches?
Yes.
Yes, love it.
Yeah!
Come on, energy.
Well, it's gonna be some chaos tonight, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
How y'all
I'm
doing
sleep
tonight?
deprived, fam. It's gonna be a fun time.
How y'all
Let's go.
That's part of the fun. How's everybody doing tonight? What's going on?
Woo!
Welcome
Do
How do you
this.
feel?
to the finale episode of A Tale of Two Lions, our Final Fantasy Tactics inspired actual play. Hi there, folks. My name is Anoriand, here with these I know how cameras work in terms of how I have them positioned on screens. Here with these wonderful, wonderful people who have helped me create such an amazing story. We are going to be giving you the finale of your lives tonight. Okay? Of your lives. You'll remember when. It's going to be like Who Shot JR? I just dated myself.
I appreciate the Dallas reference.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Alice.
We went
Yeah,
there
we
with
You did date
Is
yourself.
that a president?
That's a different J who got shot. Different letters following the J. Is it too soon for that?
Too soon for what? Dead presidents?
No, that's a good movie
We
to
all
watch
have
any night,
money.
actually.
They're covered in dead
Money.
presidents.
Like I said, that's a good movie to watch any night.
No, it's a
Chris
fantastic
Tucker,
movie, yes.
phenomenal
Ooh,
performance.
Chris Tucker, that movie.
Phenomenal performance. Anyways, let me.
It's never too late for a dead president, Trump.
And on that note, let's talk about our sponsors. Let's talk about our sponsors.
Trump Tower.
I think at least
Oh,
one.
no.
Let's talk about our first sponsor, My Pillow.
I was just about to say that.
That's because we're friends.
But first, a few words from our Lord and Savior, Kanye.
Oh, no.
No, but for real, let's go ahead and move on to our sponsor. I'm just going to
Bad.
shout them out real quick so we can get into it because it's only going to get more chaotic, folks. Our first sponsor is, of course, Valorous Games, creator of the Valor system. If you hit exclamation point and Valor in chat. I almost said exclamation point in chat because I've lost words. If you hit exclamation point Valor in chat, you're going to get a link to the Valorous Games Twitter as well as the Valorous Games website. They have the Valor role-playing system. It is fairly rules light for some sections, but also very crunchy in terms of the mechanics of it for combat and the like. It gives you a lot of anime freeform aesthetic that you can use. It absolutely fits the video game nature of what we're doing, and we thank them so very, very much for supporting us. If you're interested in what you see and you want to play it, head on over to valorsgames.com and buy yourself a copy. The other sponsor for the night is Adventuring Kit. If you hit exclamation point adventure in chat, you will be given a link over to the Adventuring Kit website. While you are there, you will be able to see it is a virtual tabletop that is completely system agnostic. It is free, it is fast, it is efficient, it works so well. I love it so much. I've really just genuinely come to love and enjoy working with it. It has a free version, but also if you want extra bells and whistles, there is a premium account. If you decide to sign up, go ahead and use code GameDad, and when you're signing up for it, all caps, and you will get 25% off of a monthly subscription, and you can use that on a monthly basis. So feel free to go ahead and do that.
Game Dad, get a free adventuring kit.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
Indeed.
Game Dad.
Hey, Lexi, who are you?
Who am I? Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? My name is Lexi, otherwise known as the Black Girl Mage. I am playing Fallon Invictus, our local wrench bearer, war hater, and crier. I don't know. She definitely cried.
You cried in the
But
car.
she's with her friends now, and she's happy.
And the avatar for the ultimate deity.
Yes.
Ultima.
If oh no, don't possess me. Oh no, don't overtake my body and make me do terrible things. Oh no. I know that that's a bad thing, but I truly
You're
look
sitting
for
here
that
like,
kind of
but I
chaos.
kind of want it.
Oh, no,
a
don't.
little."
That's like me. That's like me in front of hot people being like, "Oh no, don't look at my ass. Don't look at my ass. Don't look
Stop
at my
looking
ass.
at me. Oh,
Don't look at my
no.
titties. Oh
Don't
my God.
compliment my beautiful
Aren't they so
hair."
big? Don't like look at me. Don't like look at
Exactly.
me. Can't put your mouth on me. I'm just kidding.
Just she took a drink, DK. That's hilarious.
hey,
But yeah, that's
Wally.
me. Wally, yeah, it's up to
Wally,
you.
why don't you go?
Look, who am I playing? I'm playing. Sup y'all? It's me, Wally, your favorite non-binary slime best friend on the internet, who's playing a character whose ego is as big as Sephi's titties. That's right, I am playing Virgil Wormtooth, your
the limit
local.
does not exist.
Exactly. His ego can only go higher, and I feel like his ego has gone even higher after he found out he's become officially knighted by like a group of warrior women who like are part dragon. So hey, he now has a nice family little connection too, because he has that dragonoid blood in him. So let's see where this goes for our
They've
better
all
than
been
you.
touched by a dragon.
I have no follow-up after that, so I'm just gonna,
Very consensually.
I'm
several
gonna-
times.
Yeah.
I'm just
Hey,
gonna
Sin.
pass it on. Just gonna pass it on.
Sin, why don't you take next steps?
Your name is what I'm going to commit in this game. Sin.
So
Yeah, no, we picked
my
up
name
on
is
that.
Zeros Asserfall, a Rune Knight born in Adalia, and now in the Orphidian Kingdom, I believe is the name that I would have for this place. I am currently playing Sinziak, who is in the middle of a very chaotic party, who is having an absolutely wonderful time, and hoping that the rest of you also enjoy this very chaotic time.
Hey, DK, you're ups.
Hey, hi, hello, that's me, I'm DK, or at Abadarlings on Twitter, but that's not important. What's important is that today I am Princess Salacia Farcyrus, the Dragonkin monk, and we're about to get rowdy. I'm very excited about it.
About to.
We're about to get rowdier, I'm sorry, and the is in red and capitalized and bolded and
Yeah.
underlined. My mistake, my bad.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get this out of the way because it's like rattling around in my brain. Who's going to call Anoriand Tweety Bird?
What? Well, I mean, that's obvious. His tweets get him in trouble all the time. Also, every week I've been trying to figure out how to do a remix to the Donkey Kong rap for DK, and I've never come up with it because I'm not that clever.
I
got as
would
far as
carry it in my
DK.
heart forever.
I am gonna be thinking about that for the rest of the
DK.
night now.
Darlington literally has the same number of syllables as Donkey Kong.
Darlington.
This doesn't seem like knowledge
DK.
we were supposed to uncover.
Darlington Kilbride.
Darlington is here. Gilbride. Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's right there.
Bitch.
Sephi, you're next. Just
Hi,
Don't
I'm
make it hurt too bad.
Sephi. Last but not least, she of prodigious titties and mucho ass. She of little brain and even more ass.
You know,
I play Feldspar Licio, who is clearly going through some throat things. She just needs some tea. Personally, Sephi has probably sucked too much dick. Anyway, so,
and that's what we're yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And this
Alright.
is Anora. He's my best friend, and I'm causing him pain
A little bit,
because
but
I'm sleep deprived. I just got off the plane from it.
but I think I needed to get utterly broken like that because I'm bearing a lot of emotions right now. So, and I didn't see if there was any collusion on this, but I have a feeling that was the intended goal there. So I'm gonna say thank you. So, that all being said, before we actually move on, because we got Lexi going and getting a drink, I am going to go ahead and do a fun little thingy where I go, hey, y'all want to see something cool real quick? Which is to say, all the people sitting there in chat, I'm going to show you real quick, in case you have not seen on Twitter, our characters have official art for this campaign.
They do.
So, going along through the line, the first person who was mentioned was, oh God, no, I need to, hey, hold on, fit to screen. There we go. Fallon Invictus, everyone's favorite machinist. Okay. But we have a whole slew of people because, of course, we also have, as stated, Feldspar Lucio, the thaumaturge, the demure, quiet girl, who will never curse without being forced. Okay,
Nope, we'll never. Nope.
Salacia, everyone's favorite country bumpkin princess. Also noted here in the picture is Sugar. Just, I do need to bring attention to that.
My son.
Zeros Asterful, the rune knight of our hearts and dreams.
Thank
With
you.
the stars in alignment. And last, but certainly not least, we have Virgil Wormtooth. And he's better than you. And you know it.
Mm-hmm. His titties are almost big as Seffi's.
Almost.
He do
Almost.
got that barrel chest. But
Got those battle chests, yeah.
with that, we are now, y'all ready to do this thing one last go around on this story?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the damn thing. All right? And so,
Music. Stop.
our heroes who have discovered
Cry.
the truth of so many things, that they were brought together in order to try and end the world, now have a chance for one last showdown, one last fight. Not to destroy the world, not to aid their former mentor, but to stop the plans and to save everyone that they know and care about. For one last time, a tale of two lions. And so, we find ourselves back in the library underneath the Order of Ophidian. Our heroes just came back into reality, having sat with the being who they now know effectively as Zodiark, who gave them one final offer. Take out the bearer of the Leo Stone, the one who's been running all this for now, and set the pieces in motion to finally rid the world of the blight that is Ultima. And they will be freed from the endless cycle of war and from this never-ending battle. And they've accepted. And as they've popped back, they see the queen still sitting there on the floor trying to compose herself, and no one has shifted even slightly from before they popped away, and they can only presume that no time has passed in the real world. This was a moment purely for them.
I'm going to cast Kyurga again on the queen. I'm just gonna keep casting Kyurga over and over again. It's probably excessive, just until I'm sure that she's fine.
The queen,
To go help her up.
the queen immediately. Thank you, dear. I
Are
do
you sure it's
appreciate it.
enough? Are you sure?
No,
Are you sure? I think one more.
I promise
One
you.
more.
I promise you. I've got.
One more.
You don't get to this position unless you're able to take a few hits.
Just one more. I guess.
And of course, she gets up. As she does, she looks at you all and says, "So, where do y'all go from here?"
Well, better question. Who's going to repair this hole in the floor?
We'll have to figure that out because it's about timing. There's but so many people who we allow it down here, you see.
Anor,
Yes.
can I try to see if, awakening Alexander will cause the library to slightly, repair itself?
That is, I'm going to go with not on there just because essentially when you, you know from the way the arcane threading of your spells work that you can create an image with the things you do, but you can't. Essentially, you would have to move the stones back into place one by one with magic, as opposed to just like them changing form immediately. Much the same as how like Rama or Ifrit or Shiva could break things in individual spots, and then they could like put things back, but they can't just like by their existence make stuff reform, if that makes sense.
I was just wondering because like Alexander was formed from the library, if it would help. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
That's more of an imagery thing. So at this point, the queen looks at you and says, "Y'all gonna have to take the fight to him, aren't you?"
Well, we don't want to cause a fight in the middle of your lovely city. Auntie? Yeah, I'm gonna call you Auntie. Auntie,
That's a
but,
queen!
yeah, but she's also technically my aunt, so... Fine. Your Majesty, Auntie. We're gonna have to go after him.
Well, he said you'd know where to find me. I'm assuming it's not here.
You don't think he went back to Gao, do you?
Well-
No, we do know where he'll be.
Wow.
Who do we see him with? There's one more person that's colluding with them.
2.
Well,
and
one that...
Carlos being one of them.
Limber. Didn't we see the Marquis with them?
No, you didn't see the marquee, but you did recognize it was you did recognize that it was Melchior's official like office room in Limberry, where he was
also-
when you saw that vision.
Do you think Lance is alive?
I do. I think if anyone's alive, Lance is alive.
Oh no,
I
Lance,
don't,
he's made a stern of stuff.
I don't think he would have a strategic reason to be rid of her. At least, not right now.
Alright. Do we think that's where they are?
Well, it's a place it might serve us to go either way.
It's as good a place to start as any.
We do have one more thing that we need to discuss, though. We still have the stone.
Yeah,
What do we do with it?
Yeah, I mean, we do take that with us. We're gonna be a walking target for anyone.
But can we leave it here?
At this point, the
Can we
queen
afford?
looks and says, "Well, y'all are the first ones to free that stone in God knows how long. This place
But
ain't
they need-
exactly visited by a lot."
This stone, they need it.
This one
Correct.
and Aquarius.
Well, I was talking about Aquarius. I'm not convinced that they need Officius or Serpentarius. Remember, it's outside of the other ones.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how many people know it really exists. So they may
think
have
so-
not factored it into their plans.
I think Serpentarius is different. Can I... So I have favorable insight on research and, like, magic and stuff, arcane stuff. Can I roll?
What are you trying to
Um,
discover here?
I'm trying to discover, like, the role of the stones, and if delivering this to their doorstep is basically like wrapping a package for Ultima to becoming summoned.
So that wouldn't be like research so much as I'm gonna let you do
Can we perhaps make a roll based on our understanding of either legends or lore that the church has on these things?
that's what I was gonna say. You do that. I was gonna say kind of just based off what you know and what you've read here, and just basically like patching stuff together to, for lack of better way of put it, kind of figure out the truth based on what you've dealt with that makes sense. So in that case, I'm going to say that is point perfect. Give me an intuition roll.
I was gonna say.
And who's making this?
Me.
I mean, anyone can who
Great.
wants to in this moment. I'm not gonna.
Why not?
Like I said, in this case,
Okay,
the intuition
rolled
is
the
like
wrong thing.
figuring out what you know. So, like, I'm not gonna say you're not allowed to just sit there and think.
Right.
Nope.
Virgil's
Okay.
not allowed to sit there and think.
That's a 10 because I rolled
dangerous.
a 1.
Okay.
I would like to assist Beld in her query.
You go ahead and also roll.
Okay, I rolled a 13.
Okay. In this case, I'll let it be like putting your heads together. You know enough about what's been taught of the Holy Stones as they're known, and can figure out based on, it's very clear that this is their goal. Obviously, you just saw the inscription on the table that each of these different zodiac symbols has their own associated beings, and everything you've come to this point, as you can kind of figure, they're supposed to be collected as a set to achieve their true maximum potential in terms of what they could do. If the reason why the stories were that Saint Ajora Glabados was able to defeat these evil things is all 12 came together. Now, obviously things like that are a bit suspect now, but the idea still would stand to reason you don't necessarily want to give them a chance to unite them further.
Alright. So, bringing the stones a no-go. That much is clear. I worry about putting your kingdom in more danger, Salacia.
Our kingdom is prepared to defend itself, and if this has been the stone's home as long as it has,
We've been
If it's
here
all right with
1,000
you.
years. This little
I go
punk
over-
ain't gonna undo it all. I'll tell you that right now.
I go over to the table, and it's probably wishful thinking, but I like knock on the Aquarius symbol, like, you wouldn't happen to have a containment unit in there, would you? Would you? Would you?
The sound of the knock reverberates through the air because it's just a table.
Damn.
No.
Oh, my
Um,
camera shifted when I did that.
Yeah.
I'm
That
so
was really
sorry.
funny to watch happen.
Like live, it was like, oh, we're just continuing. Okay.
Yeah.
God damn it. Why is it? Sorry, the cord's like stiff. So like, let's just, oh my God. Ugh. Keep going, ignore
Yes.
me.
So I'm assuming after knocking and seeing if you could have any luck, essentially, if you remember in the center of the table, the part that raised up, it was essentially like a divot, for lack of a better way to term, where Serpentarius was sitting. So you could literally just place Aquarius in there, and then the mechanism can be reversed to pull it back down into the table where it already was prior.
So it definitely looks like the table itself was like the holding container kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I just kind of look at the table and go, try to recall in the history if, in fact, all of the stones have been here in the Ophidian Kingdom.
So this is where the queen goes, I can tell you now, that stone there is the only one we've had in our hands.
Well, it seems that it is going to be joined by some fortunate or unfortunate company.
Or, let me rephrase. Of those kind of stones, that's the only one we got. You said y'all need to get to Limberry?
Mm-hmm.
The housing for these, so I'm assuming we're going to leave these here.
And she motions like this and begins walking to the other side of the library. And as you all walk along, eventually she comes to the other side and there's a large, like, armoire of sorts, just a large covered wooden thing. And when she opens it up, you see a map of Ivalis, as you know it. And on every major city, there's a mark on the map, and the mark is a small stone about yay big. And she grabs the one on top of Limberry and turns around and says, unfortunately, this'll only work as a one-way trip. But if you need to get somewhere fast, ain't no faster than this.
And I would rather avoid going through the live stream again, to be perfectly honest.
Well, before we do that, I do have a very important question.
Go ahead.
What are the duties of a Knight of the Kingdom?
X, that is a really good question. What exactly,
Well, you can presume that one of the duties is to protect the kingdom and serve its people, but I'm not going to tell you the others.
Oh,
don't-
believe me, it was far beyond my idea that you guys needed protecting us.
No,
Yeah.
You don't get the rest of the rundown until y'all make it back safe.
Oh, I see. Keeping secrets from us as a form of insurance.
It's always
Something
been
like
like this.
that.
I've been trying to get her cookie recipe my whole life.
And you ain't gonna get it.
One way or the other, I'm getting my hands on it.
No, because then you'll only eat cook.
That's the point. That's the whole point. What is the... Why would I be queen and not eat cookies all day?
Well,
Here.
I suppose if we are to protect the kingdom and its people, then I will have to take maybe a few liberties in how I carry out that charge. I don't think anybody else would mind.
Hey, I mean, you do what you need to do to uphold whatever duty, we still don't know what it is exactly, of the Knight of Forfidian. But I'm taking on the whole idea that the duties of a knight, which is not protecting and defending this place, is more of a representation of how powerful this nation is.
The queen, after handing... by the way, who takes the stone? Okay. The queen, after handing it over, then walks up to Fallon and puts, like, a reassuring hand on her shoulder, which Fallon, being tall as she is, it's... they're about the same... Like, they're a similar height, which is an unusual feeling for Fallon, but... puts her hand and says... We all heard what got said about the vessel and destiny. Hun, you write your own fate. Destinies get written by man, and I ain't gonna let no man tell me what to do. You're strong. There's a reason why Salacia cares about you like she does. Don't forget that. Just believe in yourself.
I think Fallon just takes the stone and just pockets it. She's just nodding the whole time, but not really saying anything.
I'm gonna let y'all have a moment to yourselves because I gotta go upstairs and make sure nothing else got messed up and everyone's in place. When you're ready, y'all hold hands and somebody holds the stone up. It knows what to do. And she just looks at Salacia and says, I'm not gonna say it. Not until you get back.
Why would you? I'll be home for dinner.
You better.
Yes, ma'am.
And she turns around and walks away.
Honor,
Yes.
I'm going to hold the Stone of Aquarius And if possible, I'm going to try and commune with it to reach the same point that I did when I was in the live stream.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an aura roll.
Okay. 15.
Okay. As you start trying to feel out for this thing, you do feel the energy that's in it. But it's unusual. Before, Kine and Famfrit, these things, they presented themselves to you. And as you would know it, it would be a situation where, like, it's going to present itself to you. You feel the energy in there, but it's almost like it's fleeing from you. It doesn't want you to connect to it. And you are acutely aware enough that you realize as you're reaching out, you are all still, in your own ways, touched by the power of Zodiark. It's not fleeing from you. It's fleeing from that.
So, I would like to try and rip them forward. And the reason for that is that I want to ask them a question. Not that I want their power.
With a 15, what I was saying, with a 15, you have enough control. You can basically, like, essentially,
basically
come
like, nah,
here.
bro, you're not leaving yet, and just pull them forward.
You are able to do that. So at that point, essentially, now when you hear the voice, it is very much so a situation where it's like, it's not playing that it was actually scared. It's not fear, more so as just like
reticence,
anger to a degree. Like, it does not want to be around that presence, but you can
hear. So, you've come back for my offer then?
I have a question for the both of you.
We're waiting.
How many of the stones do they have, and how close are they to completing the ritual? I know that you can feel what the other stones are. Don't pretend that you can't. How many do they have?
4.
Only 4. How many do they need to summon Ultima?
Oh, they just need 1 for that. But to achieve the entirety of their goals, they'll need all of us.
So they're not close.
Child. You judge us all. Alright? Do you have any the power that comes with us?
Josh, real talk, I can't understand a word you're saying.
We're gonna go back to the other boys for that.
Child, you judge us based on your standards. But with the power of Ultima, collection will take no time.
So they can partially summon her and get the other stones.
Amongst other things, yes.
Noted. Who am I speaking to now? Who's the last voice that spoke?
So when you were first talking, if you remembered enough about the voices when they were speaking that you know it was Kine, but when it shifted to talking about the power Ultima has, you could tell that it was now Famfrit who was speaking.
Kine, should it come to it, what will it take to summon the other half?
Blood. The right blood. And nothing less.
Noted. Thank you. I won't be bothering you anytime soon.
And you notice as soon as, like, you loosen your the grip of your spirit on it immediately pulls away. And you almost get the feeling that part of it was, again, reticence to deal with someone connected to Zodiac, but part of it was almost like it offered you the chance for power before. You said no. I no longer have any use for you. That kind of a dismissal, almost.
Luckily for them, I don't have any use for them either. They have 4 stones gathered.
Oh, okay. Out of how many do they need?
All of them for the completion of the ritual, but they can partially summon Ultima with even 1. Once they have even a partial revival of Ultima, gathering the other stones will take no time at all.
You can
So
gather
the sooner we
from
get there, the better.
Yeah, you can gather from what you know, again, from things you piece together, that in order to, again, complete all of it, they'll need everything. But to just get Ultima into this world in some form or connection, they specifically need the Virgo Stone.
And can I presume that they have that?
You know, actually. You're like, oh, well, I'm not going to say you can't presume whether or not they have it, so much as you don't know. And
The Virgo Stone's one of the things that we couldn't confirm the location of.
correct.
Yeah. If they have the Virgo Stone, they can summon Ultima, or at least some aspect of her power. They can't complete the full revival, but
Very least, I suppose, given that Leo made their way down here, that means they don't have the Virgo Stone. That is a good.
I think we just need to be prepared for anything. But, Fallon,
Yes?
you in particular need to be careful.
I understand.
Because
Is this
if they can-
something... Oh, go ahead.
One of the other things that I learned from Famfrit and Kine, although they weren't exactly coming forward about it, that's what I was doing when I was hunting the stone, by the way. Without telling you, I probably should tell you that. To summon the other aspect, the one that is Ultima's counterpart, it will take the right kind of blood. I presume, knowing how all or nothing these stones are, that that would be your blood.
All right. So what do we do?
Basically, prevent them from bringing Ultima or any aspect of this power into the world at all.
By finding this stone that they need and keeping it from them?
That, or attacking them directly and getting their stones away from them. Which I don't know if they would expect.
Personally, I like that idea.
I think that the Virgo Stone... I don't know if we stand a chance of finding it. I think our
Yeah.
best bet is to take them down.
It's best to just leave the stone in mystery and then just stop the people trying to find it.
The other thing is that they offered me their power and I said no. They want nothing to do with me anymore.
Hmm.
I sort of had to force them forward, which I'm sure they didn't like.
Okay, I mean... We either stop them... So we know where they're at, right? We know.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no choice. Then, do we?
No.
All right.
Honestly, don't.
I guess we're just gonna be playing a bit of a game then. Make sure that I don't... I can't bleed at all.
That was my question.
I would be willing to bet money that blood does not mean a small amount.
have to forgive me for the briefest of moments if I sound like Virgil here, but I feel like anyone in this group should be the last thing.
I'm also presuming it's your blood because you're the one connected to Ultima.
Mm.
It could be something other than that for the other side of the stone.
And, I mean, I know we've already talked to quite a few bigger powers, but like, there's no one out there, right, that we could possibly make a bargain or a deal with that would be a lesser of two evils that could stop all of this.
The stones have other aspects, and those other aspects could be used against them.
But
There's also there's the summons, the Espers, but it's strange. Both the demons and the angels have their own ways of getting into this world, but just like summoned creatures, they can only be summoned once a pact is made and once someone has reached for them. I don't know if there's a connection there. We don't owe the Espers, the Eidolons, whatever you want to call them, that we summon. We don't always fully understand where they come from. They're pulled partially from the soul of the summoner and the connection there, but they're pulled from somewhere other than this plane, just like the stones. But perhaps we understand even less about them at this point. Do you want me to ask?
Could you reverse a summons? As in, send something to wherever you normally summon things from?
I can banish my own summons.
I'm just wondering if, let's say things go well, we win, we save the day. We leave here and just leave all the stones on this plane of existence?
That I have a theory about. I saw in the live stream the creation of the stones. They coincide with the creation of the firmament, the very earth that we walk on. They are fundamentally connected to this plane, even though the beings that they are aspects of are not. I don't think we can banish them. I think they're too connected. I think the stones in of themselves are actually portals of great power. If you think of them more than that, in that way, as in they're portals to other realms connected directly to the earth itself, there's no way to banish them, but there is possibly ways to banish the beings that they summon.
Okay, it's a place to start.
Shall I ask the beings within me if this is something we can do?
Please.
Any answers would be great.
Yeah.
Alright. So,
Roll, in this case, I'm going to say roll resolve. Because you're not really sure how to do it. It's a new thing. You're basically just trying to gut this out through years of working with magic.
that is almost a max roll, but my resolve is 5, so 14.
Okay. Essentially, you reach inside yourself, and you reach into the magic within you, and try to connect to the astral plane of sorts where you've always pulled these magics from. And in so doing, you feel the emotions of the beings within you, of Ifrit, of Shiva, of Rama, and even now of Alexander. And you begin communicating with each other, but it's not words. It's just you are basically sending in this feeling, and they're sending it back to you like you just know. And so in this case, you reach in and are trying to see, is there any way that you could magically send something through there or banish through there or connect through there? And you get a feeling of no, that's their home. They can't allow anything in there. And then if you're reaching for the idea of, okay, but like, are you able to push and pull these zodiac beings in the same way as your summons if you have the stone or anything like that? The feeling you get is it's magic beyond even the concept of magic. That it's a thing that you almost get a sense of fear from the beings within you, because while they may be magical in nature, especially someone like Shiva, who you feel the strongest fear of, you've been connected to for a long time. And there's this fear of losing you that comes through. And you get this feeling like if you attempt to push those things back or something like that, like mess with them in their own realm, you physically will not be able to handle it.
I'm going to ask in more of a feeling than a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have these beings messed with your realm too?
You get the feeling that essentially the magic as you know it has been around since the dawn of time, but the portents of magic, the hierarchy of magic, was kind of formed after the fact, and much the same way that you've already seen and witnessed that the stones go part and parcel with the creation of the land. That was the first magic. And everything else is kind of subsidiary to that. And it's less that they've been messed with, and more that they are fully aware of how powerful that ancient magic is. To where, again, lesser magic actually fears. As close as you can gather from emotions, the concept of that greater magic. It's less they have been messed with, it's more the beings of the magical beings of that realm as you know it would never dare mess with them because they know how it would go.
Did they create them?
No, you get the feeling back, no, that all of it was created by the universe, but that essentially is almost closer to, for lack of a better way of putting it, the zodiac powers are closer to gods in the sense that they essentially willed themselves into existence.
Whereas the summons were probably willed into being by concepts and elements of their own.
Magic was part and parcel to the flow and the threads and the web of the universe, and kind of delineated into the spaces and forms that it did.
Okay. I'm going to thank them and also give Shiva a spiritual hug, and
you
come
feel
back.
Shiva connect back with you for just a moment before you pull back.
No. They're fundamentally different, and the Zodiac beings are above and beyond anything that the summons can conceptualize. They're much older, much more powerful, much more key to magic at its rawest form.
All right then.
It's a good theory.
Yeah. I think we have nothing else we can do except going guns blazing and rely on the power that Zodiac unlocked in us.
I'm ready when y'all are.
I'm always ready for a good fight. So,
I don't know if this is going to be good, Virgil.
no, all fights are good in my opinion, but this is going to be a fight. And I'm ready for it, so.
Sounds like fun to me.
Let's go.
And so our heroes hold each other's hands. And Fallon, with the one empty hand, reaches into the pocket, pulls out the stone. And the only, without even thinking about it, you visualize, because again, you've all discussed, the last place you saw them was Melchior's quarters in the castle. So without me, you visualize that place. And as you hold the stone up, it begins to glow. And all of a sudden, your vision blurs, and you see a flash of light, and it's like a snap. And just like that, all of a sudden, you're all standing in the office of Melchior. He isn't there. But you do hear in the corner, God, who the hell was that?
Do we recognize a voice?
And as you look in the corner, you see your former vice captain, Lance Margie, gripping at his gut. And
I run over.
Immediately.
he looks
Yeah.
up at all of you. Of course, you throw the healing magic too, but he looks up at all of you and says, I knew you guys would make it. I don't know how, but I knew.
Lance, hold on. Just
Kiriga.
take it easy. Just take it easy.
Feldspar and Zeros both begin casting these healing magics. And you start sending them, obviously, where the wound is, as you were trained and always know to do. And as he moves his hand, because he's looking down, hoping that you made it in time, obviously, and wants to see it, you see the telltale dark aura of that anti-life magic, and just know that this was done by Melchior. The
Virgil
wound that's in him.
takes his hand and he covers the wound back up. Lance, listen, all right? You just need to rest here. Just rest up. And
Virgil.
after this,
Virgil.
Lance,
Virgil! Will you listen to me once, please?
no,
I don't know that I'm gonna get another shot at being your captain.
but we were supposed to do this from the start. We were supposed to make
I
it up in
know.
the ranks together.
I know. And I'm sorry, man. But you won. And you look at the ground next to him and you see that he literally has blood all over his fingertip, and he was writing words on the ground. Melchior, evil, Fallon, in danger. And then he had stopped there. He says, I was trying to make sure that you guys could know. Listen, I've caught that son of a bitch with the skull mask walking around, and I figured out what was going on. And I was so stupid. I thought I could do something. He told me what's going on. You're the only ones who I think could stop him now. He sent out the reserve units. Because he was trying to do something downstairs.
Is he there now?
Yes. But you gotta keep Fallon safe. He's gonna try and take her.
Lance, you're a huge idiot. When you should have saw this guy with the skull mask, you should have let us know. You should have done something. You should have sent out a message to us. You should have taken this on your own.
Fledgel.
You can try, Feldspar, with what you just asked.
What do you want me to do, Anor?
That's on you.
Everyone? I need you to leave the room.
What?
Please.
Are you going to be safe?
I'll be fine.
Virgil stands up and he looks at Feldspar and he looks at Lance and he grabs Lance by the collar and says, "If I fucking come back in this room and you're dead, I'm gonna kick your ass."
Lance just chuckles a bit and looks at him and says, "Hey, kick his ass."
He fist bumps Lance and he heads out the room, patting Feldspar on the shoulder as he walks.
Felds, how long do you need?
A moment.
Okay. Holler if you need us. And I turn and follow Virgil.
I'm assuming that Fallon and Zeros also.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Saros, go.
I'm not going to do that, Feld. But what I will do is at least make sure that you're not interrupted.
Sin, you need to move closer to your mic. You're too quiet.
Here we go. I said, I can at least make sure you're not interrupted.
All right.
And I place a dome here because people
Over.
cannot hear things outside of the dome.
right.
Feldspar goes to Lance's side and kneels and looks at him. You are the only reason that I survived being in the army.
No. You are the only reason you survived. Doesn't matter what anyone else did. Would have meant nothing if you didn't have that strength.
Lance, you are the kindest, most pure soul that I've met, even in war. And I am sorry for how selfish I'm about to be. But if anyone can survive this, it's you. And I'm going to take the Stone of Aquarius, and I'm going to place it directly on the wound.
As you do, the stone lights up and you actually feel an electrical shock in your hand, causing you, like, inadvertently causing you to pull it back. And blue light begins to form around it, and you see him staring down. And he just...
I'm not ready to let go of anyone else, Lance.
He stares for a moment. I'm not gonna become the same thing he was.
You don't have to.
No. And you realize the way he's talking, he's not speaking to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just saying, no. If it's my time, it's my time. No. What? You promise? Okay. And as he lifts his head back, you see the stone lift over him in the dome, and a light comes down over his body. And he begins to turn bright gold, like with light surrounding him. And then you see from the tips of his fingers, it's almost like everything is blowing away into sparkles of energy, and he's beginning to disappear in front of you. And he looks at you and says, I think I'm gonna get a second chance. I can't help you all right now. That was the deal. But I think I'm gonna make it. Because of your strength. Thank you. And you see the body of Lance Markey begin to turn into dust and blow away in front of you.
And I would say here that the dome dissipates as it happens.
Did I do the right thing, Zaris?
Well, perhaps now someone, maybe in the future, will have a Beatrix of their own. And that, I think, is a wonderful thing.
I'm going to miss him.
We both will.
Outside in the hallway, like Virgil's leaning back against the wall, and he suddenly just like starts rubbing his eyes like, ah, shit. Got some dust in my eye right now. Got some kind of handkerchief or something, Salacia?
I take off one of my hand wraps and hand him just a length of black cloth.
He takes it and he will like wipe his face with it, and then he wraps the cloth around his upper arm. Yeah, this hallway's really dusty or something. I think that's what it is.
Old building.
Yeah.
Feldspar, you know, before we go and meet the others, I want to say, this may have been the kindest thing I have seen in the course of this war. And, it is hard for me to say that this world deserves such a kindness.
Zaris, that wasn't a kindness. That was the exact reason why I couldn't take the deal with the stone. I'm not pure. I'm selfish. And that's not always a bad thing. That could have ended badly. That could have put us all in more danger. You never know every corner of a man's heart.
Maybe not, but doing any good thing in this world, whether you feel that you are selfish or not, requires the same kind of risk. So,
we are about to go kill the very man who saved me from being burned alive. And all I can feel isn't shame, isn't worry, it's fury. I want to kill him. Xerax. He saved my life.
the one who saved your life. Let me ask you a question. Would that person have come all the way to the Ophidian Kingdom to take it then? Understand, if we are going to kill this person, it is not Melchior.
Melchior, for as long as we have known him, has had the Leo Stone. Centuries. The person who rescued me was never Melchior. The person who rescued me is the one that we're going to kill today. And I am somehow at peace with it. And that's the exact reason why I can't be trusted to take one of these stones. And Feldspar is going to leave the room.
I'm going to leave behind her without a word.
So our heroes are gathered in the hallway outside the office.
He's gone.
All right.
And so is the stone.
Wait, what?
What?
I gave him the
Faithful.
stone. They offered him a chance. I have a feeling that in 10 years' time we'll know the result of what happened today.
That son of a bitch! You mean you get to tell me he got the stone, now he's gonna be going through time as some legendary hero that some knucklefucks like us randomly summon up? Oh, he did win in the end. Asshole. Well, let's go kick this guy's ass so I can feel some retribution in the fact that he just got one up over me.
Believe me, no one's more of a legendary hero than you, Virgil.
Damn straight I'm not.
So, downstairs?
Downstairs.
Let's descend.
Does this castle have a basement?
The only place you can presume by downstairs from where he is the Great Hall on this side of the castle, where there would be enough space to do a ritual or anything else.
Very well then. I would say that Fallon should remain in the center of us just in case.
Right.
Like points on a compass. Just, we don't have to stay right on each other, but as long as you're roughly in the middle of us at all times.
But I worry about the proximity, and this is where very few things I know about fighting. It could be easier to get all of us in one place if I'm centered around you. or centered in between you.
Well, if it helps, that suggestion comes from a tactician, like most of us here are. I think we'll be fine.
All right.
And
If
so,
nothing else, if we need to break off, just make sure you're always with two of us.
Okay, can do.
Just to remind you, Leo's not the only one that's going to be here.
Oh.
We got company.
And also, I don't know if Zodiac's going to be able to limit him the way that he did before.
I would imagine that's a trick he can only pull off once.
Yeah, I like to think we got lucky last time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think I'm ready.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go kick some us. I said it. Us.
You did it!
Let's go
You,
kick some
you,
ass.
you know you're
Let's
very,
go
you know
do
you did it.
Let's
You
do
did
it.
it.
Good
You
job,
did it.
Phil.
Yeah, good
Okay,
job. Good
okay,
job.
Okay.
and on that victory,
It still feels wrong.
our heroes gather in formation and walk downstairs and start heading through the castle to the Great Hall that was under the office they were in, and they realize there are no soldiers. Everyone's position's been moved. Melchior has clearly handled diligently every last detail he could to make sure that this place was clear. And so, as he's walking, you're all walking through, you feel that eerie sense of singularity. And eventually you come to the giant doors that open to the hall, and you throw them open. And, like you knew, there in the center, with the tables all pushed to the sides, stonework revealed underneath, you see, standing there, almost waiting for you, Melchior Tengil and Anatolos.
Melchior, you fucking nerd! I know you're in here. We're coming to kick your ass for killing my best friend.
Gafgarian, where are you, shameless cur?
Oh, he's long since been to the wind. He's gonna lay low in Ordalia until he doesn't have to worry about any reports of being an implicit killer. At least that's what he thinks. Little does he know, if he's lucky, he can live the life of a mercenary in a few years. That's it. But you don't have to worry about him. Why don't you focus on what's in front of you? And you see Anatolos go, surprise! Oh, do you know how simple a magic trick it is to shift myself out? I've learned to work with souls.
I throw a Faraga at his face.
As you
I'm
do,
drawing my weapons.
you see he holds like this and magic shield up to block the blast. And he's like, oh, I expected better. And you see Melchior has run his blade through his center and looks at him and says, you've already failed me. You're only good for one other thing here. And he holds up his other hand, and you see him begin sucking what you can presume to be life force from him, and Anatolos just begins flitting away into nothingness and getting absorbed into Melchior, and a darkness wraps around him. Ah! I've been wondering when I got to do that.
No loyalty.
Now,
it seems.
5 of you. 1 of me. Let's even the playing field, shall we? And he holds his blade in front of him and holds up a finger and almost seems to blur and separate out into 5 Melchiors, each standing there in that position. And the center one drops his finger and goes, now then, Let's have some real fun. And each of the 5 comes charging at the group, 1 at each individual character. I'm going to need a spirit roll from Zeros. I'm going to need a strength, or a muscle roll from Virgil. I'm going to need a dexterity roll from Salacia. And I'm going to need an aura roll from Feldspar.
Balance not doing anything.
15
Don't
for
raise
me.
your eyebrows at me, Josh.
He said 15?
Mhm.
Okay.
I got a 20.
That is 17 for spirit.
Salacia?
12.
12? Okay. So, with each of them coming in, you notice that the way they approach is different. For the one that's going at Virgil, you see there's a bunch of energy surrounding his blade, making it enormous. And you see a swing out, but Virgil, reacting on instinct, swings out his lance and begins catching and going blow for blow with each of these giant swings, clashing and striking as they move off to the side from everything. The blows just causing literal actual dust clouds to fly in either direction from the strength of it. The one that goes after Salacia, you see it focuses on a more rapid fire approach where it keeps trying to stab in all these different locations, but Salacia keeps using all her training to try and dodge it while striking at the arm underneath the blade, around the blade, things like that, but having a difficult time actually getting in to actually stop anything because of the speed of it all, but it's all going faster than you're usually able to keep track of. Zeros and the one that's in front of him, it begins charging and starts sending waves of energy through its blade at Zeros, who, being a rune knight, begins matching blow for blow with his own waves of energy flying back, colliding in the air, smashing all over the place. And meanwhile, the one that goes at Feldspar sheaves the blade and begins going like such, and you see 2 bursts of energy appearing at fingers and just begins launching beams of energy one at the other, with Feldspar going blow for blow back, dropping fire, ice, lightning, and then eventually you see not full summons, but it's almost like small portals open behind her in tandem, with the head of Ifrit reaching out, the arm of Shiva reaching out, the staff of Rama reaching out, and blasts colliding in the air. And as all of that fighting goes on, the one that charged forward at Fallon stops dead in front of her with blade in hand and slams it into the ground. Oh, Fallon, Fallon, Fallon. You were always the important one. You're the one I need to finally finish everything. I couldn't hurt you.
I doubt that.
Well, not like this anyways. There's a reason you were the first one I found.
What?
It's always been your destiny to summon Ultima. We need to cleanse the world. Humans, they're always so terrible. We can get rid of them. We can get rid of all the evil. One fell swoop.
If this... There's no way. There's no way. No. No. If you think I'm going to stand here and let you summon anyone, you're forgetting that I have more control over whatever is inside me than you.
I've waited quite some time to find the right vessel. I can wait longer if I have to.
I think, oh God, I've been wanting to do this since day one. So
Come on.
okay, sorry. This avatar thing, this thing that I'm not supposed to be summoning. Would Fallon have any idea about if this is similar to any? I'm just going off of the assumption that Fallon has had experiences with like extra like preternatural natural like forces.
You don't.
over
If
the
you're
past
asking if
couple
you
of
can like
days.
try and connect to it in some way,
Yeah.
you can't connect to Ultima as a being. That would require the Virgo Stone. Ultima is what you've learned from Zodiac talking and from the research that's been relayed to you by the others and all that, is that Ultima is sealed in a way the others aren't. You can't just reach out and connect to it, for sure, regardless of being the right vessel. But you do, if you reach in, realize that you can kind of feel a bit of that Zodiac spark from when you were empowered before to like reach into, for lack of a better way of putting it. And you could try and tap into that.
I think Fallon tries to tap into that, and whatever that looks like, however that manifests visually, he's gonna wait for that to manifest visually and stare this guy down and just say, "You keep talking about me as a perfect vessel. I think it's about time that I made you into my perfect sacrifice." And I'm tapping into that thing inside me to try and get rid of this guy. I don't know what power is going.
So, something tells you when you do to grab your gun.
Oh yeah, hands already down. Hands already down.
And as Fallon grabs the gun and pulls it out and aims, the whole gun begins glowing.
Yeah.
And you just see the size of it increase multiple fold. It becomes a giant shoulder-mounted, incredibly huge cannon, and it just... the light fades down and you see this gold and silver gigantic monstrosity that you aim right at him with your finger still going. Finger on the trigger. Anything else you want to say before you pull?
I want to see what he's gonna say.
So you're really gonna side with that thing, huh? Kids today have no respect.
You have no idea. I'm pulling the trigger immediately.
As you do, energy just begins forming at the end of the barrel and just launches at him in a rocketing spear. And you see him grab his blade and hold it aloft like this with one hand behind the actual blade part and the other on the hilt. As it collides, and it's actually physically pushing him back with the dirt sliding underneath him. And the energy just keeps impacting. All this time, along the sides, none of your allies have been able to gain any ground in any of their individual fights. Like, no matter how good they're fighting, it's like they are just dealing with a force that is beyond them. Someone who is doing whatever they can do, but better. But then all of a sudden, you begin to see each of them kind of increases in their fighting. Virgil begins striking and getting side blows in, going on, getting him in the leg. You see Zeros being able to launch 2 beams at a time to where one of them catches one of the body. You see Salacia able to strike and hit the body in different ways as all these dodges happen. You see Feldspar sending blasts through that are hitting its origin point, and you realize you are dealing with the actual Melchior. And each of these copies seems to be losing strength in this moment.
Yeah.
Because he's pulling it back to defend against this blast. And it keeps going until eventually It just forcefully crashes through, and you see him flying backwards and catch himself, and all 4 of the copies fade from existence. As all of them kind of dart back to him, and he stands up and he goes, guess we have to do this the old-fashioned way. And at this point, I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, thank God. The first
Yes.
time I think I've ever rolled not shit.
Oh, that was a
I'm
good
sorry,
roll.
Coop. I'm sorry, Coop.
13 for me.
That is a 14 for me.
11.
Sorry, I was watching the clip. Let me see.
It was
badass.
It was badass. It was badass.
I'm so proud.
You should put that. You put that in your B-roll.
Oh, I should. Oh no, I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
So what's your dexterity?
+5.
So 6. All right. And Zeros, where you at?
So hold on, it's your dice roll plus dexterity minus
Yes.
modifiers or whatever.
No, just dice roll plus
Okay.
dexterity.
Oh no, like I have a -2 for that. So
Oh, that's right.
that
That's
is
right.
a
That's right.
14.
What's your dexterity?
Oh, it's a like it was a 10 plus 6 -2. So
No,
total
I'm saying like,
14.
what is your actual dexterity score?
6.
What's yours, Virgil?
-7.
Okay. It fits that you're just a hair faster.
In bed.
Ba-dum-bum.
Damn.
Sorry, I'm still immature and running on fumes.
But I mean, also correct.
No, absolutely 100% correct.
Okay. So that means Virgil, you get to start us off in our final showdown.
Okay, so since he said he wants to do this the hard way, Virgil looks at this guy and says, like, 1, I thought you're supposed to making this fight an easy fight for you, because it kind of looks like no matter what you're gonna do, we're always gonna be one step ahead of you, because got me, the ultimate leverage of power. And he just instantly kicks off his back foot.
I should mention this
Oh.
for all of you playing in the campaign. Let me fix this title real quick.
Oh, that
Players
does,
in
that does
Adventuring
after
Kit.
this.
I was wondering when this was
yeah.
gonna happen.
If you check
Opinion
Adventuring Kit, no. If you check Adventuring Kit, you will find added suddenly Limberry is available.
This is Lufia, and I love it.
And we are moving to combat. And you will see
Oh
your
my
pieces
gosh,
there and
yes.
able to move.
Yes, this is great.
No. Poopy wants to be a part of our final battle.
I'm fine with that. Virgil.
Okay, so I guess I gotta fix my map a bit.
Oh, actually, I do need
This
to make
music has
one
me so
small
hyped.
fix,
I
which
know.
I need to do. I got these out of order, like that. There we go. Now you're
Oh,
good.
how dare it be that sprite? How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Virgil's gonna move right up to them right there. And he's just gonna start right off, like slams. He doesn't even draw the lance. He just runs right up to them. And he just opens up with a straight up bum rush and just starts wailing away, doing a bunch of like kicks and punches in rapid succession. But it looks like he's not really like going all out. It's almost as if he's like testing the waters to see what this guy can do.
Absolutely. Is this going to be muscle?
Yeah, it's gonna be muscle.
All right, go ahead and roll me a muscle attack.
Okay, so that is 8 plus my muscle. That is a 19.
That hits. How much damage
Okay.
we talking about?
You are taking a good old amount of 84 points of damage.
Gotcha. All right.
And as my support action, because like I said, he's sizing them up, I can make an intuition roll against a target that can be defended with either intuition or resolve. If successful, I get to learn the target's current health, status, and anything else there.
Go ahead and give me an intuition roll.
Yeah, that's not a good one. That is a 9.
What's your intuition?
In total, it's...
no.
yeah,
I see. You rolled like... Your 9 is your actual combo thing.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it failed.
Okay, so then I get to learn its current health, any kind of...
No, I mean you failed.
Oh, I failed, then yeah, I get
Yeah.
nothing.
He rolled a 10, not counting his actual intuition.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah, but that's all I can do.
that's fine. All right, Zeros, you're up.
Oh, so right. I guess it's time for us to do the thing. And my sword disappears. It's kind of like, all right, let's get this over with. And lances literally erupt from the ground with the animation of the holy spell. Like there's a like white pillar of light that appears for a second, and then lances erupt from the ground.
Absolutely.
This is. It is also a persistent effect, so it's that spot for 3 turns.
Okay, what is the actual roll? It's spirit, right?
Yep, it is a spirit roll.
Okay, what'd you get?
What, the total damage on that?
No, your spirit attack roll.
Ooh.
It'll stay persistent on the spot, but you have to roll to see if it hits.
Oh, Nara. This. Okay. Oh, the spirit attack? Is that
No, so spirit plus
Big.
D10.
Oh, spirit plus D10. That is a 12.
All right, and that was son of a bitch. Matching it hits. Okay, so that hits. How much damage we looking at for this turn?
For this turn, we're looking at, if I'm reading the numbers correctly, 39 damage.
Okay.
Have any extra points for the dice? No, I don't think it does.
Alrighty, so that's gonna be it. Are you
It
moving?
creates a
Also?
light. I am not moving, but it creates a zone of light.
Okay, good enough. All right, so now it is Melchior's turn, and you see after he basically stood there, you notice, and basically like took the hits that Zeros was giving, and like took the blow underneath. You see the dark energy form around his right hand again, and he reaches to the center of his blade, which he's holding sideways, and goes like this along the other side of the hilt. And you see like spectral energy form, and as he gets to the end, he simply goes, and it turns into steel, turning into a large double-bladed sword. As he goes, not a lot of people get to see this. Count yourself lucky. And immediately begins spinning around with the blade in sort of like a tornado slash technique. Wally, go ahead and give me a dex roll.
Dex? Ooh, that is a 15.
Yeah, no, that's gonna hit. And so you're going to take 82 damage minus your defense.
Okay.
And then you see him look over at the group and say, I've got a few tricks you all haven't seen yet. And as he's spinning with the blade, you see him separate it into 2 different blades, and he reaches them up and crosses them before him, and it sends a slash like an X of dark energy directly at the group, specifically around Fallon, Feldspar, and Salacia. I'm going to need all of you to give me a spirit roll.
Oh, jeez.
Hit me
Fuck
with
yeah.
pick the DM there thing.
Oh, okay.
18.
18, you said?
What, a spirit?
Yes.
Wait, spirit specifically?
Wait, which?
Okay, that's
Right.
14.
Hold on. Am I saying the right
Or
thing?
aura?
I think you mean aura.
Aura. I didn't mean spirit, I
11.
meant aura.
11.
10.
11.
I thought it
17.
was better than it is.
11.
17, you said? Okay. So, as the energy source comes in, you see Salacia manages to hold up the energy, the dark energy that she's used to, and form her own shield, stopping it from hitting her in midair. Unfortunately, Fallon and Feldspar are not quite so able, and they try to protect themselves, but it blasts through. Both of you take 97 damage minus resistance.
Oh my god.
That don't feel good.
But, Feldspar, you do have the chance to get your revenge now.
Right. Why did you even bother saving me?
So,
Did you hear me?
That's
I'm
an
sorry.
in-character
Oh.
question.
Yeah.
oh,
Because I didn't know if I'd need your blood for my lineage.
My blood. To what purpose? You already had my siblings.
Not the same. Different people have different strengths. They were never your equal. And never will be. Take solace in knowing that before you're ended.
I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And Feldspar is going to cross her hands, and balls of purple lightning are going to form around her fingertips, and she's going to cast them up in an arcing Tesla coil to the ceiling, and lightning is going to shatter the ceiling like broken glass. And a single staff is going to thrust down into the ground below, lightning rippling the ground, breaking the stones around it. And a single hand will reach up from the earth, and from the ground will rise Rama. Long chestnut hair, a young, smooth face, impossibly tall and lean, white
good with
robes
young
the
Rama.
color of snow, and a staff that arcs at the end with a hook that suddenly glows and then breaks into a giant scythe.
I'm good with that. Let me go ahead and add Rama to the battlefield.
And Rama gets to attack and is going to use System Shock. So that's going to be a spirit roll with a +2. Oh damn. Okay, that's a lot. That's a big score. Okay. I don't know if it matters what I roll on this.
You said
That's
spirit?
28. 28.
I think you're looking at spirit attack.
I am looking at
You
spirit
need to do-
attack.
I'm sorry, you need it for the roll, it's aura. I
Aura?
flubbed that.
Okay. So that is 16.
Okay. Son of a bitch, matching it hits.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that hits.
that is 26 lightning damage minus resistance.
Mm-hmm.
But it inflicts energy vulnerability, weak defender, and slow. -4 defense, -4 resistance, and -1 move.
Alrighty. I'm gonna assume that's your turn.
Actually, I think I have a... No, oh, yes it is, because summoning's a
That's
slow
something
action.
special. So,
Summoning's a slow
Salacia,
action, so I don't have a slow turn.
Salacia has been unwinding the white wrap that is left on her other hand this whole time, and is going to drop the shield of energy You see that as she sort of holds her hands together in front of her, one palm glows white and one palm glows black. She balls her hands into fists and begins to walk straight toward where Melchior is. I have a question.
I have an answer.
Is it my attack action to grapple?
Like, you just want to tussle with this motherfucker?
Trust me, I just want to know. If I attempt to wrestle him, is that my attack?
Yeah, I mean, so... Okay. I'm gonna house roll this one for the fun of it. I'm going to say you can make one of your attacks be a grappling attack. Like, take one of your attacks and, like, turn it into tussling and try and knock this dude under your control or something to that effect.
Okay. Then as she starts making her way, I can just barely make it. She starts to pick up speed and is going to just hunker down and start leaning to like hit him sort of shoulder to midsection. At the last second, she is going to blow a burst of flame to try and juke him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, hopefully, I will roll whatever you would like me to roll. I would like to grapple him.
Okay. So, what I'm going to say is, like I said, pick one of your attacks, and I'm essentially going to go with, if the attack is successful, it'll resolve however it normally would, but we're going to include the grapple attempt within it.
Oh no.
That is a spirit attack.
So in this case, aura plus whatever you roll.
Or plus 17.
I want you all to know I'm furious because this motherfucker has 11 aura, and you all keep rolling exactly to match. Every time!
I just want you to know we're doing it to be...
You ranting
Every
ass
time! It's the
We're doing it to be
exact
petty.
number! Okay, how much damage?
That is 48 damage, and then as my support action, I would like to fly straight up. I'm taking him with me. And as I go up, I'm gonna say the word and I'll let him go.
The problem is, well, you're going to get hit by lances eventually.
Don't worry, I got it.
Eventually.
I got it. Don't worry. Just keep him up there. Just keep him up there. Just keep him up there.
I got him.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with it because it's epic and we're in the finale anyways. Fallon, speaking of epic.
Dear gosh. I think so. Fallon is very obviously still using her gun. I think that like. Okay. Let's. Is he flying right now? Technically.
He's flying in the same sense that, like, when a bird, like when a vulture picks up prey that is dead and takes it somewhere to eat it, what it's holding is flying.
I would love to try to remove the flying status from this target.
That's a very roundabout way of saying I'm about to hit them so hard that Salacia's gonna drop them.
Specifically worded way of putting it.
Salacia, I'm gonna be I'm like looking down the barrel, but I'm gonna look at you. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my bullets to try to do this. So this is the problem that I am finding, is that you gave me these shrapnel bullets a while ago. Now if I use that, there's no way that technically I have to pick a target, but will those shrapnel bullets hit Salacia?
Given the way that this is playing out, I'm gonna say no. Because, like, it's the whole, and the reason why, and I'll give you a legitimate reason, the reason why is because the nature of the bullet is it was going to be a horizontal spread. That's why I would hit things around what was around it. Not so much vertical, because that was inefficient. So,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Salatia's holding this motherfucker aloft. So, like, it's not gonna aim up to hit her.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna shoot. Yeah, so this remove the flying status from a target. They take an additional increment of damage. whatever
Yes,
that
that'll just be... so basically, in this case, it will just straight up be your damage increment, which would be an extra 11 damage. Just no defense, no resistance, just boom, you take damage.
means. Okay. So do I roll?
This is for the skill of it, right?
It's an attack. It's a muscle. I have muscle to hit. 49 damage. Range 4.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying now.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
I
yes,
just
yes.
rolled on accident. I meant to. I was closing
It's
my
fine.
character
It's
sheet.
fine. You can roll.
Okay. Oh, jeez. I'm
Okay,
so
so muscle
nervous.
to roll. So what did you roll?
I
I'm
rolled
not
on
gonna
accident
get
trying to
this.
close my character sheet, so let me actually roll this time. Oh! So bad! I rolled a 10. I rolled a 1 plus 9 is muscle.
Wait, with the reduction that I gave it, does that match?
It doesn't matter because y'all keep matching the roll. A 10 exactly. How?
The dice don't want Melchior to win.
This motherfucker
Where's the camera?
They know it's the
Listen,
finale.
listen.
God,
Let's talk
that's
about
ugly.
it. This is Moisture and Melanin versus Melchior. We knew who was gonna win that.
Yeah, he ashy, he dry.
This skin is popping.
He
Okay,
rubs
you
his
said-
fucking hands together and starts a
You
fire.
said 49 outside. 49
Yep.
and then the additional increment. Okay.
Yes.
So
49 plus 11, which is like 50.
60.
60, yeah.
Okay.
I believe that is all I can do on this turn.
Right.
Actually... Fallon, I kind of want to... I kind of want to do... Jeez. Okay, so I think that if I move... Where's my zone of control? That's my question.
Anything surrounding you.
Okay, dang.
So in other words, you basically have to move right next to him to use, what is it, dirty
Yeah.
fighting?
Dirty trick, yeah.
Dirty trick.
Support action? Can I do feint? Oppose dexterity roll to do an extra increment of damage on your next attack.
That you can.
Dope. Can we do it?
Yeah, give me a dexterity roll.
Okay. Come on, dexterity. Come on. 15.
Mother. Well, at least this time it didn't match because I got 14. So cool.
Oh!
I'm
I
honestly
won.
okay with that.
Yes.
The curse is broken. So yeah, on your next attack, just remember on your next attack, no matter what the situation is, you just add 11 damage on top of whatever it would normally be.
I think that I shoot this bullet up into the sky. The shrapnel, literally, the bullet lodges itself into his shoulder and then explodes, probably making him a little bit heavier for Salacia.
Let's
but
go.
The thing that causes this like feint is that on his shoulder he sees this like blue light just like pulsing as if it's going to do something else, and that fear is what's going to allow me to take advantage of that, or I'm going to take advantage of that fear next turn.
Sensational.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, and he comes dropping down and just lands on his knees, clearly unprepared for the particulars of what just happened. So everybody remember, you all get a point of valor normally, and everybody has been describing so well, you're all getting an additional point of valor for this past turn. So you're gonna have that going on.
Is there fall damage in this game?
Well, that's the fall was the damage increment.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right, the 11 damage we
gotcha.
added, that was for the fall. You're gonna get another
Cool.
another bonus thing next turn that's unrelated, but the fall was that bonus 11.
Nice. Okay.
Virgil, hit me. Well,
so
hit him.
as soon as he falls, Virgil is already right up there in his space, and as soon as he falls, Virgil's already right up there in his face, and he's like, So, all right, so then be honest here. I need to know this. If you were looking for the perfect vessel for whatever this thing you're doing, I mean, come on. Me, I get it. But why me? And as he's doing this, it's like he sends a kick to Melchior's side to kind of trigger off of them just doing this along the side run with each other as they are like just peeling out through the room as he's conversing with him.
I'm with it. So Melchior running along, obviously trying to keep pace with it. Virgil, you have power within you, but you really do need to get over yourself one of these days.
See, that's the problem. I've gotten over myself a long time ago. The day that I was at my lowest and I thought I didn't have a purpose, and then, you know, someone brought me in and tried to give me that purpose again. But then I learned that purpose was for a really shitty reason. And then that's what I learned. You know, I'm perfect. But even a perfect being can falter every now and then. And even that perfect being needs a little hand up. And if it wasn't for you and that little eye-opening experience, I wouldn't have learned that I have a great group of friends who can support me. Just don't tell him I said that. And he does a meteor impact as he then just slams him right in the chest with a clothesline, picks him up, and then slams him backwards into a suplex.
Hell yeah. I'm assuming muscle roll, right?
Yeah, straight up muscle roll.
Go ahead and hit me.
That is a 20.
Hits. What kind of damage we looking at?
You're dealt with a total of 95 points of physical damage, and they are knocked prone.
All right. So, blow hits. You see Melchior drop to the ground. Clearly, that knocked the wind out of him as he gets knocked to the ground. And then it is Zeros' turn. However, remember, underneath him, there's been lances of light flying up and striking, which immediately begin to strike and cut at him again as he is knocked on the ground, taking them, dealing slightly more damage to him. And Zeros, it is your turn to actually act beyond these lances of energy you're striking him with. You're muted.
Ooh, not that. Okay, so that's a persistent effect. Do I want to use another technique here? Can you use two of those things at the same time?
You can't stack the same one on top of itself.
No, like, can I use a different one while this one is happening?
It's actually a good question. Give me 1 second. I believe that is addressed. It seems as such. If you want to have two separate persistent effects going.
Oh no, not separate persistent effects, just attacks. I only have one of those. Well, at least for the time being. I am going to, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna step up 2 right here. 'Cause diagonals count as straight lines.
They do.
As far as I know. And we're gonna throw a whole little Twilight Sword in there. So, actually, because they're prone, do I even need to roll an attack for this?
Yes, you just get you just are able to, it's easier for you.
Okay, do I roll, do we roll twice and take the better of 2, or is it
No. With when someone is prone, they have a so he's got a -1 penalty to any roll against you to try and not get hit.
This one is a Okay, this one is a whole spirit attack. Yeah, that's a 21 to hit.
That connects. What sort of damage you dealing?
It's spirit damage. It's 58 spirit damage.
Alrighty.
Does that I'm guessing there's also the second eruption of swords.
I
so that's
factored that in. That's why I rolled based off of your original roll, and you would hit because he was prone. So, but that
Okay,
I
cool.
already dealt that damage to him.
Sweet. If he weren't already prone, he would be prone right now.
Yes. So now it's Melchior's turn, and you see him. Oh my goodness, you all can be annoying. And you see him flip up onto his feet. And once again, he takes the two separated blades, clings them together, and begins doing his spinning blade dance that he was doing before. I'm going to need both Virgil and Salacia to make dex rolls right now.
This bitch only got 2 moves.
One trick ass pony.
He's out here hitting us with the Dua Lipa of sword attacks.
Come on, give us nothing. Give us nothing, Melchior.
That's a 19 for me. 'Cause
You said a 19? Yeah. Okay, and what about you, Salacia?
11.
Okay, both of you get hit, and you both take 82 damage minus your defense.
okay.
And now, you see, he stops is what he's doing, takes his blades, separates them again, and turns them, and he says, "Times for things to really amp up. Catastrophe!" And he slams the blades into the ground next to him, and you see the ground begin rumbling. Underneath him, underneath Salacia, underneath Zeros, and underneath Fallon. I need all 3 of you to make a spirit roll for me.
Wait, did he knock me out of the air?
You are in the air, so I will say you do avoid it.
But,
But I got hit by that attack though.
Yes. You're
Okay,
near
hold
enough
on,
from
you
trying
said-
to fight him that, like, the blade strike, but he's specifically hitting the ground. You get to dodge this.
I have rolled so many ones.
Okay.
So we're making dexterity checks.
No, spear, aura.
Spirit, aura.
Alright.
5.
Well, dang it. Okay. Aura, that is a 14.
Okay. Both of you are hit by it, and you both end up taking 102 damage minus resistance. But if all of you are paying attention, you notice the ground rumbling also occurs between him, underneath him. And you see these shots of energy firing up as the ground itself begins raising and lowering, and you're just knocked around through the pain of it all. But you see his body gets tussled side to side. This is very much so a desperation move, because it's very clear it hit him as well. And with that, Feldspar, you're up.
All
Said
right.
it was 102 minus resistance.
Minus resistance.
Feldspot is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. I said move. I said. Here we go. So here, and it's going to raise her hand, and white energy is going to flow through her fingertips, and she's going to shoot it forward at Salacia and Virgil and cast Curiga, which is
Okay.
burst within 4 squares. I think that hits both of them. Yeah,
It does, yeah.
And so you will heal. I think I forgot to upgrade this, but you're gonna heal 43 HP.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then as my support action, Rama is going to surge forward. Wait, how much? What's your movement? Do you even move, bruh? 4. Okay, so that's fine. 1, 2, 3. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And Rama is going to whirl his scythe around and then raise it to the sky, and a bolt of lightning is going to shoot into it, and he's going to pull it back like this and do Judgment Bolt. And he's going to basically, very similar to Virgil, just almost in a transparent blur of motion, shoot past Melchior and then come back and throw the scythe into him. And it's going to pierce his chest, and then from above, a massive bolt of white hot lightning is going to find it like a lightning rod and slam into it, and the entire room goes white for an instant.
What's the stat for it again?
The stat is, it's gonna be aura.
Okay.
Okay, so aura, let me see if I can make this work. Okay, that is going to be 12.
It's fitting that it would be exactly the number for this hit. How much damage is it again?
This is 60 damage. 60 damage minus resistance. It's too bad he's not flying because it would have been 80.
So, as the bolt pierces into him, and you see Melchior electrified, and the staff flies back of the scythe and returns to Rama's hand. You see Melchior drop to one knee. Can't believe it's come to this. And he reaches inside his doublet. And he pulls out the Stone of Leo and says, "You're gonna have to take my body, Ashmal." And he holds it up. And it begins shining bright. And all of a sudden, the room floods with light to where you actually have to guard your eyes a bit from it all. And we're going to go ahead and take a short break.
Damn.
Wowie.
Gonna
Holy
be
moly.
like that, fam.
Yep.
The room
All right,
floods
folks.
with the smell of little bitch.
Yep, but that was already there.
Just going to take about a 7, 8-ish minute break, somewhere around there, folks. Stretch your legs if you got to, get a drink, do what you got to do, all that good stuff. We will
Pat
be
your
back
butt
shortly.
because someone's
pat
still
your butt.
recovering from surgery.
Pat butt for good, as we have explained.
Pat your butt in
Pat booty for
solidarity,
good.
honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we will be back shortly. Catch you all in just a moment.
Two, a three.
We're back.
Three.
Everybody good? You got some water? You
Yeah.
stretch? Use the loo, as they say,
Have you?
as
Did it.
Drac would say.
Can I just say, hey, shout out to Lexi for us having matching styles of glasses.
Hey,
I
the
went
faux
and
pop can.
Oh, that's the best
So-
kind of glasses.
Oh, but
Yeah.
that looks so cool. I want one.
those
It's
faux
really
pop
cool.
glasses are the best kind.
I got mine
I
from
may or
Target.
may- I saw some at this, like I was going on a hunt for things
Mhm.
in, of the alcoholic variety. And they were just had a whole bunch of these cups. And I was like, okay, I absolutely do not need any. The amount of cups I have to literally every other type of dishware
Same.
I own is 15 to 1. But I'm taking 2 of these home. Thank you.
Literally. Yeah, I think I got him. I got mine from like Target for like $3 a thing or $4 a
shoot.
thing. It was super nice. It was a while ago, but it was so cool.
I'll tell you, you know what you can. Here's a little fun because it's one of my favorite types of glasses. The Coke glass that's like, it's like a normal. It comes up and then like flares out towards the top with Coke
Yeah.
written on the side.
Yeah.
You know where you can find those? Dollar Tree.
Where? Yes, that's
Ah,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
you can't
you're
get those at
right,
Dollar
you're
Tree.
right.
You can legit get them at Dollar Tree, and I was like,
Yeah.
what?
And those glasses are like super durable too. Like they
Mhm.
wash very well.
Yeah.
All right.
Whose glasses? What?
The Coke bottle glasses.
The ones that are like they flare out towards the top and have Coke written, and they got like strips around them, kind of thing.
I love
We were
those
saying how
glasses.
you can find them at Dollar Tree, and they're actually like really durable and cool.
Oh, cool. I thought those were just things nerds wore when
no,
they got beat up.
not those Coke bottle glasses. Y'all ready to hit the second half? It's a fucking Final Fantasy based game. Of course, there's a second phase.
Yeah. Interesting.
Y'all should have expected that.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Come on, let's go kill this little bitch.
let's return. So, as the light begins to pull back and you begin to look, you all see standing amidst all of you is no longer a man. Standing there is a giant beast, for lack of a better way of putting it. The legs and torso match that of a human. Very large, very stocky. He stands about 10 feet tall. And the arms do up to around where the elbow would be. But instead of a human head, you see a lion's head with a large mane surrounding it and 2 horns extending upwards. And from the elbows onward, you see large pillars of stone wrapping around in 2 hooks to either end, coming to these sort of bladed phalanged endings. And from each of them, you see chains that hang down and are connected to the ground. And before you stands Hashmal, the regulator. And he looks at you all and says,
Oh, yes. I've been watching you all so eagerly. But this place won't do.
and with that, you see energy begin swirling around all of you. And the world begins to fall away around you. And you just kind of are in nothingness for a moment. Until all of a sudden, you see sort of purple in the distance. Just waves of energy flowing around. And beneath you forms a decrepit old airship, which you are standing all aloft on top of. And as he stands there, his chain still bolted into the ground, you see him begin to pull against them and rip his arms up, and the chains rip out pieces of the wood, but you see them now just hanging loosely from his arms. And he goes,
Do you know how long it's been since my chains have been unbound? You all get a very, very special chance today.
What, the very special chance to beat the crap out of a little bitch? Because that's all I see. I see is a little bitch who gave up into power in the worst possible way, and they lost all their humanity. Because they were trying to do what the five of us couldn't do.
Oh, you think you're still speaking to that man? Oh, child of man. So naive. He was a means. I am the end.
Actually,
Trust me when I say he's gone, and there is no coming back. And now, you're in my realm.
and with that, we're still in combat.
I think we're in trouble.
And all of you can look in the Limberry folder, and you will see a new map is about to appear.
Stop.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, come on, Josh.
Josh, why is this song?
Josh said, y'all have been fucking with me all season.
The distortion realm?
Oh my god.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Y'all
And
knew
so?
what this was when he described an airship. Y'all.
I do have to switch here because of the prior conversation of positioning. But all of you see our new map, which I've had prepped this whole time. And you will be, by the way, because I've rolled Hashmal's initiative off screen, so I know when he goes, but you're all gonna remain in the same initiative order as before, and he just slots in where his new one goes to make things easy. And we're starting back off in the beginning. So Virgil,
This is
you're first up.
Yeah, this is Grand U2. Oh my gosh, this is Grand U2 music. Oh boy. So Virgil just pretty much just told this guy off. And he's like, all right. Let me tell you something right here. You face no man, buddy. You face a fucking dragon. And he cracks his knuckles as he activates Dragoon Install, as that fiery aura just licks up and kicks on around him. And you see all that damage that was dealt to him just melts away as that dragon, like that fiery aura, like licks up between the wounds and just heals him instantly, as he is healed up 50 points of HP right from the kickoff of it. And that is my support action. And he runs up to Hashmal and just goes for a jump, flips in the air, and drops in for a good old dragoon kick.
All right, muscle, correct?
Yes.
What'd you get?
That is 17. Don't tell me.
We're not fucking doing this. We're not doing this. Just so everyone's clear.
Kidding me.
I'll let this one fly, but we're not doing this for a whole other boss phase. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
But for this one that hits, you
Yep,
see
it
him
hits.
inclining, and it strikes. How much damage is that?
That is that's 101 points of damage.
Okay.
As you see the kick, it is more. There's a lot more aura behind it, and when you see the kick slam into them, you hear this loud echo of a dragon roaring from the impact point.
As it does, you see Hashmal throw his arm remarkably fast for the fact that it's a giant pillar of stone, but it almost seems to swing in the way, and you strike it, and you can see cracks forming as he swings back, sending you back to your position. You may have done damage, but it is very clear you are dealing with something on another level from what you've been fighting thus far.
He gets knocked backwards, and he does a flip in the air and lands in a crouch next to the others. He's like, okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I've hit a lot of things, but that was the hardest thing I've ever hit in my entire life.
Okay.
Just to give you a heads up. So you're
Also,
probably gonna have to like try extra hard.
I'm gonna
just
let
to
y'all
meet up to
know
me.
you get to keep whatever valor you had from the prior match
Oh.
in this one. Not that I'm saying you're gonna need it, but so go ahead. Zeros, you're up.
Okay, so I get an attack action and a support action. I can do both of these in the same turn.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
Attack,
I think
support, and
healing
move.
actions count. I think healing actions count as support actions, right?
They do. You can attack and heal separately.
Does it matter which of them you do first?
No, not particularly.
Okay, immediately I'm going to throw a healing bomb centered on Fallon over here because it goes out for 2 squares and everybody heals for 31 points.
Yes, thank you. Jeez.
AoE heals for the win. And then I'm like,
God.
Virgil, you said we needed to try hard for this?
Yeah, extra hard.
Are you sure?
No, I have to try maybe like a monochrome of a little bit extra hard. Maybe you gotta try really, really extra hard.
Well, I guess if it's necessary, then it's necessary. And I would say at this point, the official knight armor appears, like all like green and scaly, across my form. And then a moment later, there is like a whole tornado of light that appears on the point that Hashmal is on. And he is launched. Well, actually, it's probably I have to do a roll to see
Right,
if that
you-
hits, right?
Oh, what are we rolling here? Aura?
What are we rolling here? I will tell you in a moment. Nara.
Arnar.
Arnar.
Spirit, basically.
Arnar.
Nora.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we're rolling. What is it? Spirit against aura.
Well, no, aura plus your D10.
Okay, that is a 12.
So as you see this tornado of energy whipping up and begin trying to strike at Hashmal, you see that it looks down and all of a sudden lifts its arms and smashes downward, and the energy is just dissipated in place and nothing happens. Feldspar, you're up.
All right. I think we gotta finish this the way that it started. And she is going to raise out her hand, and ice is going to flow from her hands and upwards and then slam down into 3 giant teardrop spikes of ice. And Shiva is going to rise from the ground into them and shatter them like glass. And then is going to whirl on Hashmal and use Frozen Heart. So she holds out her fingertips to him, and a beam of pure frost strikes him in the chest. Let's see if this is gonna hit.
What are we rolling here?
Aura, I believe.
Gotcha.
So that is 12.
Okay.
I hope it's the same.
Is what I would give.
Nope. So it successfully hits. So you see
Okay.
these shards of ice strike true. What kind of damage we looking at?
So, that is 72 energy damage,
Okay.
minus resistance.
Yep.
And Shiva can flow along that beam and go behind Ashmal.
So
On top of that-
Shiva, I put on the map. You can go ahead and
Yeah.
feel free to.
So on top of that, it's debilitating. So -4 defense and resistance.
Okay.
So just like the other attack, but
Right.
And Shiva's now. I don't know why it does this. I don't know what I was thinking before, but it does that. It do that,
Right.
and that's my action because it's a slow action to summon.
Alrighty. And with that, you see it is now Hashmal's turn. And you see the giant beast begin to stir. And he sets down one arm. And he sets down the other arm. And he looks at you all. And he simply begins to chuckle.
Oh, you humans are always so fun. But again, you're in my realm. Remember that in your last moments. Omega, rise!
And with that, you see him lift his arms. And underneath the group, you begin to feel the rumbling of the ship beneath you. I need everybody to make a muscle roll. Sevi, you can make just one. Shiva's obviously clearly out of the way here.
Oh, I am going to make an intuition roll.
Can't we defend with something else if we choose to?
You can. You
Yes,
do
you
not.
can.
So there's an alternate path with every sort of defense. So whenever I call for a roll, you can roll what it is, or you can roll with something else. There's just always like an effect to it. So what stat would you rather roll with, for instance?
I'm
Aura.
choosing intuition.
Okay. So for aura, hold on, I have it right here, so I can give you the exact things on everything. For aura,
I can-
instead, you can roll what's called aura deflect. Basically, you spend 2 stamina, and you just get to roll aura instead.
Okay.
Sin, you're doing.
I'm doing intuition, so I sacrifice 2 initiative.
Right.
For this turn.
attack prediction. So yeah, you can do that instead.
What are we rolling right now?
No. If you don't want to do an
Basically, you're
alternate
rolling
defense, you roll muscle.
like-
They have terrible muscle, so they're doing an alternate stat to defend with.
Okay, gotcha.
Feldspar's strength is not her athleticism.
Okay.
I just rolled my 4th one in a row. I'm not even joking.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So
Wow.
what has everyone got for their actual totals?
I got a 18.
18 too.
15.
15. 10.
Okay. Zeros, Salacia, Fallon all failed. So as the ground is rumbling, shards, very small at first, almost imperceptible shards of the earth start flying up through the air like little needles of stone, and then all of a sudden a few giant colonnades break up from underneath you. Virgil and Feldspar both manage through their own methods to dodge out of the way, but the other 3 are not so lucky as they get struck by various bits of earth. Each of you take 97 damage minus defense. And then with his arms
Is that
in
legal?
with his arms in the air, Hashmal looks at all of you, seeing the struggle you just went
Through and was like, very impressive. Or at least it would be if I was done. Grand catastrophe!
and he slams his arms down, and all of the bits of stone that have risen into the air now come flying down at the entire group. go ahead and roll your defensive choice again. Muscle if you're not going to go with an alternative.
There's another 15.
Another 15?
10
Critted with a 21.
or 12. 12.
Okay, 12, 21.
That is.
Mutus F.
Wait, how many?
You don't
how
crit
many-
unless you're 10 over what they roll.
Right. I knew
How
it-
many,
that was like, I meant roll a 10.
How many
I
times
rolled a
can you
10
use an
too.
alternate defense?
How many
19.
what?
How many times can you roll an alternate defense? As
There's
many
no
times as you
limit
want
as
to,
far as I'm
right?
aware.
As long as you have stamina.
Right. Or in your case,
Initiative.
you can't use it if it would lower your initiative below 1. You are
well, then
currently at
I'm-
14. That means you would be at 12 next turn. Using it again would just put you down to 10. You're still fine.
Okay, then I'm gonna do that, and that is an 18 on that roll.
Okay? Okay. So,
Wait, how much was the first
18,
attack? Just
21,
right now?
21, 15, and then 12, Lexi? The
Yeah.
first one was 97 minus defense. This one, as it comes striking down, in this case, it's just Lexi. And now, here's one thing I will tell you, and you can use this information as you will. Remember, you do have overdrives.
I think I only have 2 Valor.
Well, you have everything you gained from the first matchup. You got the point for your turn, you got the point for your description on your turn.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You do only have 2.
I only have 2.
Wait, but you can go into negative valor. Because that skill we talked about you getting before.
Yeah, that's
So
true,
you
that's
can
true,
go
that's
to
true.
-1. Yeah, you can do the determination to add 5 to your roll.
Okay.
I can tell you now, your
Um,
current roll fails. Both of you, by the
Yeah.
way, you and Salacia, current roll fails.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think I'll just go ahead and do that and
Okay.
bump the roll up by 5.
So with that, you do succeed. You go to a -1 for valor.
Okay.
Salacia, you're able to do the same thing. You can go to -1 valor, but bump it by 5. And if Fallon succeeds, you obviously succeed. Or you can just take the damage. It's on you, your choice.
Yeah, I'll spend the valor to bump it by 5.
Okay. So you're both at -1, but when you get to your turn, you will kind of stabilize and hit 0. So, essentially, as all these colonnades and pillars come crashing down, the team, now ready for it because they see it from above, everybody manages to dodge and get out of the way and protect themselves very necessarily and avoid this particular strike for now. And on that note, Salacia, it's your turn.
Salacia is going to rise slightly into the air from where she has been knocked by the blast. The sort of skeletal wings that allowed her to fly before now have wrapped around her and lifted her up. And it's almost like a cocoon of shadow, and it bursts open and white light spills out. I rolled a 16 on Resolve for my Dark Awakening, which is my support action.
And that
And-
is a success. So you do successfully manage to power up without being taken over.
Then, as the white light bursts out, almost in that flash of blinding, Salacia just dive bombs straight for him. And that is... It is 9, 6... It's like a million.
Huh?
9 plus 6 plus 6 because of my ability.
15 plus 6 is 21.
21.
Okay. There you go. It's too much
and
math for you.
Well, I'm gay. We
Right.
know this.
Oh, this aura?
Spirit.
Yeah.
As she slams into him, there is a small explosion, almost like an atom splitting, as she uses her white dwarf attack, and just a blast of light spreads out.
It
And that
succeeds.
is, it's 43 damage.
Okay. All right. And on that note, Fallon, you're bringing up the rear here.
Okay,
Also,
so
is Salacia moving?
Yeah, Salacia is just gonna back straight up. 2 squares. There's,
Like that?
yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think that Fallon. Oh, jeez, I don't want to move too much. Should I move out of this range? No, that would get rid of my attack. Okay. I think that I'm just going to do a move that I've done before, which is like reach into my bag for these like orbs, these glowing blue orbs, throw them all across the battlefield trying to change it, and aim it at the feet of this thing. They blink, pulse for a second, and they explode into shrapnel. And this is going to be an intuition roll for me. Please do not roll a 1. Okay, that's not good. Okay, 11.
That works.
So that hits?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be, oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. 86 damage.
Okay. Which? Okay.
Huh?
No, I'm just. You're good.
And I can't use this again, so that's just like big blasting Nova damage. Just trying to blow up the deck of this ship. Without even thinking about it.
So you see the explode now.
Oh, I
so
get
what
the
happened?
The extra. Oh, it was on the previous.
That was in the
enemy,
previous
never
fight.
mind.
But
Yeah.
you see all these the explosions happen all around the lower area, especially of Hashmal, and you see trying to swing away and stop them and disperse them, but some of them clearly begin cracking all over the stone, forming the exterior of so much of his body. You notice the explosions that happen on the deck floor, and especially if you were paying attention before, where the stone was crushing up through, the wood breaks and chips, but then almost immediately reforms, and it looks like an after image almost. Like essentially you can tell that what you're on is more or less focused, like compressed magic, more than it is an actual airship. You are fighting in the realm of this thing.
Yeah. Okay. I will just hope that my friends can take care of this. Yeah, outside of that, I think I'm gonna try to feint it. If I can. Just use the glimmer of these explosions to catch it off guard for next turn.
Absolutely. I mean, what was
So
it's an intuition roll again, right?
opposed dexterity.
Dexterity, got it. What'd you get?
I literally just rolled another 1. I'm so pissed off. It's a 6.
Okay,
I think you may need to,
doesn't
like-
work
It's
this
time
time.
to start rolling physical dice.
Yeah.
Foxy.
I'm done. Yep, you're right.
Or
You're
maybe
right.
just between either that or between now and your next turn, just keep rolling over and over again until you roll non-ones for a bit.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
but
this
while
die
you're
is gonna
doing
be
that,
God forbid you have to roll to not be possessed. Jesus fucking Christ.
Virgil,
Okay.
back to you.
So Virgil's going to stay at the distance that he's at right now, and he's going to hold his hand out to the side and slam his hand onto his wrist, and you see all of that fiery energy that's circling around his body slowly go down into his hand, and he clenches his hand into a gun, and all of that energy slides up his fingertips right into the tip of his finger, and he like braces his feet down, and as he's charging this energy, you see the wind start to build up around him as like energy is swirling around that fingertip, and he points it at him and he says, "Oh, you're gonna love this. Just don't move." And he fires the shot, and when it launches from his finger, it is just like this loud pop of a sound as the energy blast releases from his fingertip.
Absolutely.
They have to make a aura roll.
Wow.
Oh no, my dice. Oh, that's good. I rolled. That is 17.
That hits. What am I looking at?
Okay. You're looking at that is 55 points of of energy damage.
All right. So you see this thing pierce, and it manages to strike right in the shoulder, the edge of it. Like it clearly tried to move out of the way. Because one thing you notice is he's not fast, but he is quick. He lumbers around, but he reacts quickly. But it still catches the shoulder, and you see a piece of it break off from the shot.
And then after he fires that's when he does that thing where he sizes them up, because it looks like he just did two things. Like he just did a distance attack and just did a range and a up close attack. So I think he's now going to size them up again.
All right.
And they have to make a what was it again?
Opposed intuition, I think.
Yeah, opposed intuition. And I rolled a 17 for my intuition.
That nails it.
Okay, so I get all those good stats.
Let me see this exactly to make sure I don't deprive you of anything.
Yeah.
Also, while I'm doing that, just so you can get it settled, do you want to move this turn?
No, I'm gonna stay right where I'm at. Oh, so I make an intuition roll against a target that can be defended with either intuition or resolve. If successful, I learn the target's current health, stamina, active attributes, and flaws.
Okay.
Flaws.
He has no flaws.
Oh no.
Ba-dum-bum.
Liar.
That's what every Leo says.
It's true.
Oh wow, yeah.
Sorry. From one fellow Leo, yep.
So, for its current health, 404.
Okay.
For its stamina, 122. Active attributes, 11, 6, 6, 6, 11.
Okay.
And then it genuinely doesn't have any flaws.
Oh, okay. After he does that, Virgil goes, "All right," and he starts hopping on his feet back and forth with the balls of his feet, and he takes a stance again, and he reaches over and he finally pulls out the lance, flicking it to the side, extending it to his full length. It's like, okay, now I can make this into an even fight for you, and that's my turn.
Alrighty. Normally it would be Zeros here, but because of the particulars of his defense, we go straight to Feldspar.
My love.
It would be Zeros here, but because of the particulars of his type of alternate defense, we go straight to Feldspar. You're muted.
Cool. I want to do something freaky.
Hit me.
Oh.
Do it. Freaky.
It's the
she gonna
finale.
curse?
Freak it up.
So, we're in a realm of pure magic, right?
Oh.
Why do you ask?
And if I were to attempt to channel that magic through my body and do something,
What are you doing?
how would that work?
It depends on what
Please,
you want to
change
do.
this game. Change the game.
I want to reach out to this realm, grip it, and pull it into me and channel it out and cast what everyone knows is the
No.
strongest spell
No!
in Final Fantasy,
Oh.
and cast Ultima.
Yes! Except you got valor points, right?
I do.
Okay,
Roll me resolve.
My worst stat. So let's
What
see
you
what
are
goes.
going for right now, and so I'm going to let you know this right now. Because it is now your turn again, and you did get an extra turn in the last fight, you now have available to you a total of 5 Valor. If you want to punch anything up. You are essentially just, again, gonna go off pure magical knowledge and know-how and try to channel the realm around you itself into an attack. And I'm gonna go from there.
How do I add stuff with Valor again?
Every
Overdrive.
3 points you spend, you can increase a roll by 5.
Okay, I'm gonna spend. Let's see.
You
so
can
that's-
go. Now, here's the thing. You can go
I can
negative.
go negative.
As soon as you go to -1, you get, well, not as soon as you go, but like, in other words, you'll get a minus to all your roll. I believe -1 to all your rolls. Let me double check that I'm not
Okay.
lying to you. Yeah, -1 penalty to all rolls, which means,
going to
unlike where, just to be clear, and this again partially for the audience, unlike where Salacia and Fallon made that choice knowing essentially they would get their turns again before Hashmal and they would kind of stabilize back to 0. If you go to -1, you're gonna be at -1 on Hashmal's turn, and any defense you have will be at -1.
Okay. But when I get to my next turn, I'll be at.
When you get to your next turn,
0.
you'll restabilize at 0.
I am going to go to -1 and spend 6 Valor to bump this up to 24.
I'm gonna allow it. So, I'm gonna come up with this shit right off the top. Let me do 2 + 2 is 4, quick maths kind of shit. I'll go with 10, 80, 104. What is your, what's your usual casting stats? Spirit attack, right?
Spirit attack, yeah.
Okay, for damage purposes. What is your spirit attack?
43.
Okay.
Plus energy attacker.
So,
So we're talking
Sephi
53.
Feldspar holds her hands aloft, and you begin to see the realm around you warping. The actual space distorting around your group and this ship. And it seems to funnel into her. And as it's happening, Hashmal looks at you and goes,
You can't do this. This is my realm.
Try me, bitch.
and with that, above Hashmal, you see a rotating orb of light turn into a pure beam that strikes down, landing, and a wave of energy erupting out as it pierces through its body, and with just an enormous Feldspar casts Ultima, and based on my little quick hot math, it's going to deal 149 damage minus resistance.
And as my support action,
They got a support action.
Rama's gonna do Judgment Bolt again.
All right, go ahead and roll for that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shiva.
Right.
Shiva's
Shiva's
gonna do
out.
Frozen Heart. Shiva's gonna do Frozen Heart.
Right.
Let's see. For a 20.
Well, -1. Well, yeah, I'm gonna
Shiva
assume
doesn't
it,
get a
but
-1.
still- but either way, it doesn't matter, is what I was about to say. Because I was gonna say, well, summon, but either way. How much damage here again?
72.
Right.
And I don't think debilitating strikes stacks, but it's ongoing. So
Yeah. So, all right. So
I'm
as
also
the
gonna
ice
have her
pierces-
I'm gonna have her move through that to the opposite direction.
Right.
too.
So you see Hashmal now looking. It's breathing noticeably now, where it wasn't before. Not necessarily on his last legs, but you have absolutely inflicted a grievous wound here. Which is why it's now his turn, in which he chooses to respond. And as he does, you see him charge directly forward. And you see he lifts one of his giant arms and tries to slam it directly down on Zeros, actually.
What?
Oh, what?
Rude.
Give me.
That's
You can roll an
suspicious.
alternative, or you get
That's
muscle
weird.
for your base.
That's weird.
I am going to roll an alternative. That alternative is going to be an aura deflect, and that aura right now. Hold on for a second. Okay, yeah, that aura right now is roll of 15.
15? Okay, this does still strike through. So as
Can you use Valor to add to defenses like this?
Yeah.
you can,
You know something? Because I have the Valor, I'm not spending it on anything else. Let's just add a smooth 5 on that.
you see the arm of Hashmal rise up and spin, and he goes to swing and strike down. And as
with a
he
sword?
does, you see Zeros almost as if at the last second on purpose
It would be.
slide to the side of the arm coming down, using the sword to guide the arm slightly over to miss, looking down at it. But Hashmal's not done yet, because now that he's struck there, he swings his arm to the right, and thus to those standing alongside Zeros. And with that mighty wide swing, I'm going to need Fallon, Feldspar, and Virgil to all please either do a muscle defense or, do an alternative.
I accidentally rolled 2 by accident. Hold
We're
on.
going with a 19 this time. Finally rolled a 10.
There it is.
Yes.
Them real dice got you this time.
Said muscle, right?
Muscle, yeah.
I'm gonna just say I'm gonna use aura, and that's a 16.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna use some valor for this because I rolled a 2. Even though my muscle is an 11, I'm still
I'm
rolling
sorry.
valor.
-1, 15.
So
Okay.
that's gonna bump it up to a 17 for me. Actually, 18.
All right, so with that, as the arm swings to the right, you see it turns in the midst of the swing. And again, it's not like a pure stone column, it's hooks as it goes. And ends in these different points, and there's odd serrated points to it. So as it swings, you see both Fallon and Virgil strike their hands out and begin to try and stop this thing from swinging in. Feldspar, of course, not being the warrior of the group, isn't quite able to stop it, and one of the hooks catches her, unfortunately, and sends her stepping back. And she takes 92 damage minus defense. But the others do manage to stop it before it can continue any further into hitting them or sending them flying as Hashmal swings his arm back to himself. And Zeros, now's the time to respond to that action.
Well, let me see. I think that that ability is a persistent one, so it just stays in the same spot unless I dispel it. Okay. You know something? A classic thing. Hashmal is here?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So the first thing that I do in response to that damage is make a mind attack.
Okay.
That's just like roll the mind stat, yeah?
Well, in this case, it would be what, intuition?
Okay, that's a 15.
Yep. It's not even a good
I'm
stat
happy.
for him.
I'm happy to be of service.
A 9 should
then-
work.
But yeah, so he takes. Ooh, hold on, let me make sure I'm looking at the right one. Yep, he takes 56 damage. He is
Okay.
also pushed back 3 spaces. Are there any like objects nearby, like any of the poles or anything like that?
With how everything went, yeah, so we'll say he strikes into, especially if I push him over here, the giant stone mast-like thing that's on the ship, which will deal, of course, another increment of damage.
That's delightful. So that's another 10 damage. And then for my support action, more heals for everybody nearby. So all of y'all take another 31 points of health. Thank you.
And after that, Fallon, you're up.
Okay. I think. Are we using ultimates, y'all? Is that what we're doing here?
Just
Yeah,
go
we're-
for
we're-
it.
Do
We're,
it.
we're there.
Drop a
Also,
screen on
remember
him.
when you use that ultimate attack, give yourself 50 extra points of health.
What? What? Okay. Cool. So I think I'm gonna use my ultimate, which is literally just like. Oh gosh, how do we describe this? Okay, so I think that.
Shot,
Oh
right?
my gosh. Huh?
I said you can get creative with it, but I believe it was a shot because of the range, right?
Yes, it is a shot.
Now,
So
how
I
you want to
think
handle that? Special ammo,
Yeah.
anime
I
gun
think that,
powers, whatever. Do you think?
I think that. Okay, it's the finale. Fallon reaches into her pouch, and takes one tiny, like, small sphere-like trinket. Looks at it and just says, "Okay, it's the final test." And takes something she's been working on the whole season. She launches it up into the air. This thing immediately, you watch it spread 2 wings and start flying in air. I'm literally going to take my gun and shoot it at this thing. The bullet's going to ricochet off, and this thing amplifies it. Just like energy ripples out from this tiny little flying bug, and creates this like shot that is absolutely gonna roar through this thing if possible.
What am I rolling here? Muscle, right?
Muscle.
There we go. Okay.
Okay. Let's see what I get. 19.
How much damage does it deal?
106. Just every single foot that it takes careening towards this body, this celestial body, or like not even celestial, I guess, but this gigantic body, it just and breaks the sound barrier and uses that added energy to just like rip into this thing.
And as the
Is it?
bullet strikes and pierces through Hashmal, you see its head raise up.
That I could be undone by the very vessel I sought. But I will have the last laugh. And this realm will collapse like a singularity on me. I hope you enjoyed your last.
And you see the ground begin to rumble underneath you. And the world begins crumbling almost around you. Bits of purple start falling like glass shattering. And his body begins to dissipate into the air. Hashmal is defeated, but you can tell this very realm is literally falling apart around you. And as you see all this happening and have these flashing moments of, this is it, this is the end, if anyone is looking at Salacia, they'll notice a little thing moving inside her coat and a little white dragon head popping out right next to her head as Sugar leaps out of her cloak, jumps into the air and extends its wings and turns absolutely massive and wraps its wings around you all. And you feel the embrace of its energy. And all of a sudden, everything around you turns white again. And you are in the other realm with the desk and the chairs. And you see Zodiark sitting there. Did you really think that all this time I never had a way to keep eyes on you?
What the hell just happened?
Well, with everything else you've stated, I can't imagine that you would have made so great an investment without hedging your bets a bit.
But dude, what happened?
I'll
We
be
were-
taking another apple, by the way, and just grabs one from the bowl that's on the desk.
You see he
It
shimmies
starts
the bowl
chewing.
forward.
You just see Virgil in the background pacing back and forth like, what happened?
But Zodiark
saved
looks
us.
at Salacia and says, don't worry. Sugar's always been real. I just put a little something in there to make sure that I was nearby if I needed to be.
I knew he was special.
Then he looks at Fallon. I see why Ultima wanted your spirit. You truly are something else. But deals are deals. So, you all have done what you were supposed to. So I suppose it's time for me to do what I'm supposed to. And as he says that, he lifts one of his hands. And like that, the world comes back into focus around you again. And you notice that you are all standing on top of what seems to be some sort of like fort type building. And as you all look around, you see the familiar trappings of Salacia's home. You're all atop the fortress building where you originally were inside of once before, and you can look and see the whole town before you. Everyone is standing perfectly frozen still. No one's moving. And as all of you are standing there looking, if you pay attention to the side, up steps Zodiark next to you all, still in his suit, looking at you, before looking back down and saying, I did say I'd keep them all safe, right? And he points.
That you did.
And if instead of looking at the main part of town, you look where he's pointing, off to the side, as you look, you realize the ground surrounding the town ends. And there is just blue.
So, everyone here is safe?
Where did you move it to?
It was never going to be fully safe in Ivalis. So, took it off of Ivalis.
Where are we?
In the sky, I should think.
Pretty high up, actually, yeah. Don't
So
worry.
We're on a floating. Oh.
You're not stuck up here forever. He points behind himself, and you see sitting behind the castle is an airship. This one not nearly as dilapidated. Yeah, you're going to be able to travel if you need to. But here's what you all need to know. I meant what I said. I've been putting my pieces in place. 10 years from now, Ultima's going to be well and truly just feated forever. And removed from Ivalis. And war and all that'll be gone. The Aquarius Stone would be here and potentially prevent some things, but somebody had other plans.
I don't know what you mean.
I told you. I like interesting. Besides, it doesn't change anything in a way that matters. But there was one other promise I made that I should be clear about. And you see him point, and if you look where he's pointing, Salacia, you'll notice in the middle of town, there is a building that, the town looks as it always has. But now there's one random extra building there that wasn't there before. And 4 of you have never seen this building before. But one of you recognizes her dad's engineering and inventing shop. I told you I'd keep your family safe too. Don't worry. I got you. And you see him put his hand in his pockets and begin to walk away. And then stop and go, he's in town too. Figured I'd throw in a little bonus. Y'all got a chance to live in a world without war. Do me a favor and don't waste it. And just like that, Zodiark's gone.
Huh.
Feldspar's gonna start running in the direction he pointed.
Yeah, I go off in that direction.
I think at some point Feldspar's like, I can't keep up, and just jumps on Virgil's back.
Running
like-
down.
As you,
She's very small. She's like 5'1" max.
and as the group is running,
Tiny.
you get to this building, and you see, standing out front of it, Fallon, you see your dad
Yeah.
working with his tools, kind of not paying attention to the world around him as you've known him to do. And like finally he looks up and kind of looks around and realizes something is off.
You look a little lost, old man.
Do you gotta you where's
A
my
wrench?
wrench?
Yeah. Yeah. It
Okay.
always comes back to
Let's
the wrench.
start there. You still
Always.
have it, right? I just, please, I've got a lot going on right now. Do you have the wrench?
I think I just like wordlessly go up and run. Just
Okay.
hug him.
And he hugs back. And there's this cute embrace that's going on that you're all paying attention to.
And,
And
just
because
say, you're never getting your wrench back.
She lost it a couple of dimensions ago.
Yeah.
yeah, you keep believing that, sweetie. Okay. And he's holding her back with a loving embrace. And as you all watch, you're just watching what's a very cute moment, which is why none of you notices when all of a sudden Virgil gets punched in the shoulder.
Bah! Who the fuck punched me? And he still has like Feldspar on his shoulder, so he just swings Feldspar around.
Ah! I'm delicate cargo.
No, you're not. You proved that long time ago.
I'm injured.
And standing in front of both of you is Lance Margie, and he just goes, God, we couldn't even have like one serious moment? Not one?
Well, first of all, you're not supposed to have a cooler death than me. So consider this a second chance for me to outdeath you.
I didn't
Feldspar
die!
just pushes
She
Virgil
didn't
and
let
hugs
me!
Lance. I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah. Told you were strong. And
I smile at this moment, seeing Feldspar react like this, but saying nothing, just remembering the conversation we had back at the room earlier.
And at this point, between Salacia and Zeros, who are the ones removed from all this, a hand goes on either of their shoulders, and between you, you look and see the queen, who says, now I can tell you your responsibilities. But first, and she looks over to Salacia and says, you're a princess. You're my princess.
I told you I'd be home for dinner, Mama.
Still not going to tell you how to make those cookies, though.
I'm gonna figure it out one way or the other. Nothing you
And
can
we-
do about it.
And with that, she takes Zeros and says, come on. There's going to be a lot for you to learn here for several reasons. And then she looks over at Lance and Virgil, who at this point, I'm assuming, are like in some form of like faux battle,
Yeah.
I'll summarize for them later.
and says, I feel like they're going to have a lot more to learn from the same set of rules, huh?
Maybe.
And
Definitely.
as we zoom out from this scene, we know that things aren't done yet. We know that the Leo Stone made its way back to the realm and, in fact, found and sought out the same blood that held it before. In this case, the brother of Melchior, full Marv Tingiel. We know that Gafkarian lives long enough to become a mercenary and come back to Evelys. We know all these things. But just because you can't save the entire world doesn't mean that your actions don't matter. Because saving one life, saving 2 lives, being there for someone in their time of need, giving someone an open arm when they need it, that all matters just as much. And on this note, as we pull back from this kingdom in the sky and our heroes being free of the shackles of war that were placed on them and now set to determine their own fates and their own lives moving forward, we will bring to a close a tale of 2 lions.
God damn.
Oh, that was good. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, that was a great ending. Oh man.
I'm gonna need a sec. So if anybody else wants to
Yeah.
talk.
Oh my gosh. Like,
Hi.
oh gosh. That was just
You know, I remember this airship coming up in an earlier conversation that we had.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
I don't know what you're
Off
talking
to the
about.
Side, I may or may not have notes, so you know, I suppose this is part of a few
know what you're
things,
talking
which
about.
means
I also want everyone to know that this might be the end of A Tale of Two Lions, but this group still wants to play stuff together. So, who know? Well, we don't know what it's going to be yet, but you will be seeing us all together here again.
Now is based on that being veiled. Is when I'm gonna get mushy. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I've spent a long time planning this, and I think I can be confident enough to say that no matter what, it would have been good. I don't think it would have been this with anyone else. Not this great. So I love y'all, and I'm really happy. Nope, not gonna do it.
We're all happy
Not gonna
too,
do it.
Josh.
Not gonna do
we're
it.
all happy.
Not gonna do it. Let's talk about our sponsors, because that's the way I have to be serious. If you hit !Valor in chat, that was a real fun combat sequence where we all had to like do overdrives and shit. Y'all were really lucky Grand Catastrophe didn't hit, by the way, on anyone, because that
gosh.
was gonna hurt.
Gosh.
How
And
much damage was that?
That was gonna be 120 damage minus defense.
Minus
That's not
defense?
legal.
I fully intended on knocking some of you out because one of the overdrives is basically staying awake in negative health.
Oh yeah, that's the overdrive
I
Virgil.
fully
type
intended
deal, yeah.
of forcing you all in, some of you into that. It just didn't happen.
Well, that's the thing is because between Zeros and Feldspar healing us, we were not dropping too low. We had that constant flow of HP coming our way.
I will not.
Should be really glad he had double healing.
I cannot say that. I was glad.
I was
that Zeros
keeping
was
some
there.
numbers.
Yeah.
I was at.
Fallon was
like-
hurting.
Yeah,
I
Fallon
was
was hurting.
down at 40 out of 250 hit points. Like I was down at like 44.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I think I got
Red-
lower even before that.
red
Yeah.
health on the screen.
Oof.
But yeah, as for our sponsors, Valorous Games, they created the Valor system, and which is obviously the system we've been using. We are very, very thankful for their sponsorship of us. It has meant the world to me, and I am so very grateful for being trusted to use the system to tell this story. If you hit !Valor, as you can see, and we're going to be keeping the exclamation point Valor in chat, even beyond this, because I'm gonna thank them for that trust and everything. So whether or not you're watching this, you're in a stream, whatever, you ever need the link or want to see anything, exclamation point Valor, you will have the link to the Valorous Games Twitter as well as their website where you can buy the system and get what you want. As well, if you hit exclamation point Adventure, thank you so much, Sin, you will have the link to Adventuring Kit, which was the virtual tabletop that you saw in the midst of this. I had both my screens and maps and everything prepped, and literally was just able to go, here's a map for all of you, and then in the middle of it be like, there's another map in there now, and just pull that kind of stunts on the fly and immediately switch. It's very clean, it's very easy, it's very smooth, it's very fast. Sometimes it makes you roll ones all the time, so it's not, maybe it just doesn't like Lexi. There is the possibility, but
it's
that
fine.
doesn't
We
matter.
all love Lexi, so
Thank you.
Exactly.
I
That's
don't
the
need
important
any other
thing.
fulfillment.
Okay, but it is a free site if you do campaigns of up to 5 people. If you're gonna have more than 5, you will need a premium subscription. But lucky for you, you can use promo code GameDad, all caps, for 25% off of a premium membership, and you can use that on a recurring monthly basis if you so choose. I'm gonna hand it off to the people who have absolutely made my life so much better over these past few months. And first of all, without saying, that goes to our resident vessel of the new one,
It's
Lexi.
true. Yeah, I mean it's me, Lexi, otherwise known as Black Girl Mage. I was Fallon tonight. And honestly,
actually, I believe it was Melchior that was fallen.
Oh!
I'm gonna Venmo you $10, Seppi. That was a really good pun. That was a really good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was Fallon tonight. But yeah, normally on Twitter you can find me under the handle Black Girl Mage, where I do D&D, I talk tabletop RPGs. I'm gonna start streaming it again here soon. Hopefully, we'll see when that happens. I'm thinking it'll probably be Mondays, because yeah, that's around this time. So if you're around this time, hit me up. But twitch.tv/blackgirlmage. We aired our finale for Strix U last week, was it?
Yeah,
Holy
it was.
shit. That's wild. It was 2 hours of
What a wild
absolute
time.
nonsense and foolery. But yeah, I mean, we're already starting on season 1, so the only thing I can really point people at is our pally.gg, which there should be links for all on our StrixU Twitter, which helps us continue making season 1. So outside of that, that's me.
And speaking of Strix U cast members, Wally.
Sup, y'all? It's me, Wally. I was playing Virgil Wormtooth. Oh my gosh, I have never had so much fun playing this character. So to give you a little bit of an insight, Virgil was 100% spawned from me being petty, because many years ago when I first got into TTRPGs and online RPGs and everything, there was like a forum game I was part of, and someone played a really cocky character like Virgil, and they were miserable to role play with, and their excuse was, this is what my character would do. So I always wanted to play a character like that, but I always felt like that weird stigmata of that. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna prove them wrong, that it can be possible to play a character like this with actual depth. And thank you so much for
Tell me, did playing this character make your palms bleed?
Oh gosh.
Because you said stigmata, and I wasn't gonna let that slide and said stigma.
I
No.
appreciate it so much.
Yes, it did, Seppi.
I'm a monster.
My palms are bleeding.
Wally
like
is
the
the
Lord
second
Jesus
coming
Christ.
of brown Jesus.
Virgil
Moms were
is
heavy
better
with
than you,
Mom spaghetti.
and you know it.
Oh,
Virgil is
yeah.
better than you because he is Jesus.
Yes.
And moving
That's
on,
canon now.
speaking of mom spaghetti,
Oh my gosh.
Sin, where can the people find
These
you?
week's arms are heavy.
What is going on?
They can find me being very happy about the way that this episode has gone and the enjoyment of all of you as fellow players and of Josh as a DM. And that's the only place that you're going to find me this evening. If you want to find me elsewhere, I'm Sincere Bait on Twitter. You can figure out where else I'm going to be from there. It has been a wonderful time being your Twilight Rune Knight. And that is all there is to say about that.
And before before I start crying again, DK.
Hi, that is still me. I am DK, and I have been your Princess Monk. This has been absolutely wonderful, and I am so glad that I got to be a part of it, and that we all stayed friends at the end of the finale, and now we live in a floating city, and that's pretty dope. You can find me at Abadarlings on Twitter or over on Exquisite Corpse Presents until the 19th, and then you won't be able to find me anywhere for a couple of weeks because I'm taking a break. That's it.
Sounds good. And then, last but certainly not least.
Hi, I'm Persephone, aka Persephorath, and it was my absolute pleasure to play Fedspa Lycio, who will still not swear except at dramatic moments. But in all
Said
honesty,
bitch.
fuck Melchior, and fuck Hashmal, fuck them so hard in their orifices.
Right.
Mhm.
Glad for that.
But no, this has been great. This is one of my favorite games I've ever been in. And I would easily put this cast up against some of the bigger games that I've been in. So thank you for having me, Josh, and thank you for telling this story. And in one of my favorite worlds that I never thought I'd get to play in.
So first of all, before I speak, I am going to draw the curtain back and say, I love how she says, thank you for having me. Like I didn't say, hey, I'm planning on doing a game about Final Fantasy Tactics. And I was already going to offer it to her. But before I could, she said, I'm in. And I went, all right.
I was aggressive. I didn't even give him a chance to have any alteration. I was like, you're putting me in there.
She literally was like, I'm in. And I was like, I was already planning on putting you in the game, though, is the thing. It's fine. It's fine. We don't have to fight about it.
When we do come back, it will most likely not be Monday.
No, that's not happening.
For any of us.
For several reasons, but that's besides the point. Hi there, folks. My name's Josh. You know me as Anoriand. If you're here, you probably obviously know how to find me, but I'm here. I'm on Twitter as Anoriand GD. I'm on Hive as Anoriand. I'm on YouTube. I've been, obviously, this entire playlist is going to remain on there, archived for the future, and beyond that, I've got Let's Plays have restarted recently. Those have been going well. That's been fun.
So good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So good. They're great background noise for at work. I love it.
I'm trying to keep things fun and happy. And beyond that, I don't have a lot going on in the immediate future. There may be some stuff coming down the pipeline soon, but mostly I'm focusing on the relaunch of YouTube, putting some extra stuff there, and so on. I am gonna be a big sappy mess, most likely. So I don't really know what else to say here.
Let's get a round of applause for Josh as our storyteller.
Don't fucking do that to me.
Let's do it. Josh, thank you so much. You did such a good job. And we all signed on for another.
Yes. 100%.
You know how hard it is to get a group to be like, yeah, we'll do it again.
We 100% want to do this again.
The one thing I will say, thank you all. I already said that, but also, especially given we were telling a story based on a game like Final Fantasy Tactics, it was really fucking important to me that the story was told by people who didn't look like me. And thank you for taking the chance and being here around me, because it matters to me a lot that you give me that trust to be able to tell a story with you, and just like me be able to say like, hey, I'm gonna try a thing, just run with it, and you are willing to trust me. It does matter. I'm gonna go. Okay, who is live right now? I got like 3 seconds.
Can we get like all of your hype and love emotes in chat just for Josh? Because
one more time, y'all.
Come on,
one more time, y'all.
Let's get some hype for Josh.
One more time, please.
Running this awesome game.
This was just
telling this story. Best fucking fan fiction in the world.
This was the greatest fan fiction in the world.
Yeah.
We're gonna raid bronze.
Okay.
We're gonna raid bronze. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us.
Josh is goated. It's true.
It's true. I'm good. Yeah. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. My name's Anoriand. You found me. You know these wonderful people. Please follow all of them. And until next time, We'll catch you later.
Bye, y'all.